Welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Queen City, where champions are crowned, where speed meets history. 1.5 miles of action that has tested the best for over 6 decades. This isn't just another race. This is America's home for racing. This is Charlotte Motor Speedway. Louder than ever. You're not going to want to miss a second of the action here in Charlotte. Live only on KnappDaddyRacing. This is the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. We are live.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here in the Queen City of Charlotte at Charlotte Motor Speedway, here to bring you the next edition of the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series, here live every week only on KnappDaddyRacing. We are excited to bring you this one. We're about to get underway here with qualifying. John, talk Charlotte to me. What are we going to see?
Oh, it's a fun track, man. It's a good 1.5 mile track. It's a fast track too. That's the crazy thing about it. Once you get around turn 1 and 2, it almost like it hooks you in there, and you can really get into the gas pretty early. But on the flip side of that, you're going to see a lot of drivers float out towards the top coming out of turn 2 and pop that wall a little bit. Might take or hurt their car just a bit, so you got to be careful to take care of that. But coming around turns 3 and 4, really 2 different lanes you can run. Some guys might prefer to take the high side and wrap the wall all the way around, and some guys are going to stick low and probably save a little bit of tire that way. It's a little slower, but you can get a good exit, drive almost straight out into this tri-oval type turn here, and really get a good run coming out of 4. So a lot of fun racing. This is definitely one of my top 5 favorite tracks to go to. This is my hometown track, or home state track, I should say. Ever since Rockingham closed, this one's a little bit closer now. But yeah, I love it. Excited to be here.
Excited to be here for Charlotte as well. Also my hometown track. Also the only track that myself and John have ever been on in a race car. So that's another little interesting fact as well. But again, as always, up here in the booth, you have myself, Hunter Foley, and my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, on the other side here. We are ready to bring you some exciting Charlotte action. Got the guys out there getting their qualifying laps in. They've already had about 30 minutes to get their practice in. Currently, Jacob Hutnick, the leader in the clubhouse, with a 29.76. Right behind him, you have the 84 of Frank Marchese with a 29.82. And they are still out there putting their times down. As always, if you have not had a chance to just yet, be sure that you like and subscribe to the KnappDaddyRacing channel so you do not miss a second of the action here in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. It has been an incredible year so far, and I know we just have more exciting action to come. And then also, as always, get loud in the comments. We appreciate it. The drivers love it. I know a lot of these guys love going back and watching these things and hearing everybody hooting and hollering in the comments. As always, we got the Frank Marchese fan club in here. Brian Gibbons saying that the Frank Marchese fan club has been summoned. Shasta Jewel, as always, in the chat saying, let's go RER. Forge Val saying, Frankie, baby, hurry down the chimney tonight. I like that. It's good work. And then Brian Gibbons saying, intro is fire, as always. We appreciate it. John puts a lot of work into those. I, myself, am not smart enough to do that. But Brian Gibbons also saying that he saw mommy kissing Frank, and he's his new dad now. Congratulations.
I mean, that's a plus. That's an upgrade. Oh, wait, I was thinking about Santa Claus, but thinking an upgrade from Santa Claus, but Frank is an upgrade from Santa Claus. Let's be real here. But looking for gifts tonight is going to be Frank Marchese in himself, actually getting a really good qualifying spot here in P3. And then if we're going to go ahead and voice who we think's going to win tonight, my pick is actually going to be Frank the Tank.
Got Frank the Tank on the pick tonight. I am actually going to go with...
And while you're thinking about that, I'm marking myself down for one segue there.
Fair enough. I think you can have that one. I'm going Christopher McCullough.
Christopher McCullough. Yeah, well, we got a second here. I'm actually going to pull up our current points board that we have going for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series right now. Kind of the same up top with Ryan Moyer, Jacob Hutnick, Cody Bullock. Ryan Moyer picking up that second win last week. He's going to be your first dual winner here in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. I believe Kenneth McCullough is one that fell back just a little bit. Also with Aiden Wilson falling down a few spots, but taking good advantage of that is Jamie Horn picking up that win, getting a good finish last week. James Fox up there as well. I believe he stayed in 7th this week. Greg McConey looks to keep climbing. Also, his teammate Frank Marchese had a couple of bad luck runs here recently, but hopefully he can turn around tonight. Hopefully I can get my pick right tonight. I think he has a really good shot.
And with that, the qualifying is done. These guys are out here getting ready to get this thing underway. Thank you to everybody that's already joined in. I've seen we've had anywhere between 17 and 13 people in here already. We really appreciate it. The drivers really appreciate it. It's super exciting, not only for us, but for the guys putting on the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series to see such a warm welcome every single week in and out, especially with Sunbelt being a little bit newer to the iRacing scene. It's really, really exciting to see the love that it's been getting. So thank y'all very, very much. We appreciate it. The guys appreciate it. Let's get over to some racing.
Yeah, see in the comments here, pick Frank, trust. I do trust. I mean, he had a really good qualifying run there. Going to be starting at P3 spot. In front of him is going to be your winner from last week, Ryan Moyer, who kind of dominated last week at Sonoma, and then told us that he had only practiced for about 10 minutes, which is just insane. But he's a good driver. I'm looking at his I rating sitting here at 5,700. I think the 50th percentile sits around 1,800 right now, which is absolutely insane that he's up here. But also some other good drivers. Jacob Hutnick with a 3,700 up here. Garrett Fox, 3,600. But Craig Bontrager, 3,200. So we like to look at that and see like who's a good driver, who's not. But also, not only that, some guys have a low I rating, but that just means because they don't race officials. One of the best drivers I think me and you both know has like an I rating of 1,500 because he just doesn't race official races, but he's easily could be a pro right now.
Or they race in different series, or trying to get a different license or whatever the case may be. But the I rating is a good tell, but it's not accurate all the time, as we've seen with a lot of these guys out here tonight. But
not the full story.
It doesn't tell the full story. We got Nathan Fox out here. I believe that's Craig Bontrager spotter in here as always, saying go RER, go 35 Bontrager. Euler Sim Racing, that is Jake Euler, the number 7 machine out there on the track. Also, I believe does a stream of his own. So if you want to see the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series from the perspective of a guy that's out there on the track, be sure you go check him out. And then Kathleen Trush saying let's go Trush number 23, and Rusty Rafferty, let's go RER.
Yeah, I don't ever want to push viewers away from here, but I also love supporting other guys, especially in the league here and everything. And I know Jake does a good stream. If he is here and listening, if he wants to post where they can see that at, feel free, man. Throw it in here. People will get a good in-car cam and be a good experience to see from both sides.
100%. I think everyone's out there getting their last couple of practice laps in. I reckon we should probably thank the sponsors right quick, since we had to start the stream a little bit on short notice, so we had to kind of go a little quicker in the introduction than we normally do. But I reckon we plug the sponsors here really quick.
Yeah, let's give them a plug.
Let's give them a plug. Well, again, this is the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. just started brand new this year, and it would not be possible if it wasn't for having such an amazing sponsor in Sunbelt Rentals. If you or someone you know needs a piece of construction equipment for any sort of project, whether it's just getting some stuff done around the house or whether it's a major commercial or industrial project, be sure to check out Sunbelt Rentals. They are nationwide, and every time I've ever had to deal with them, I myself have been in the construction industry for about 4 years now. They have been absolutely professional and helped me with exactly what I needed. So be sure that if you need anything in the realm of construction equipment, you check out your local Sunbelt Rentals, and I know that they will take care of you. And huge shout out to them for making this league happen, making this broadcast happen. We appreciate it, and the drivers appreciate it. And then our shameless little self-plug that we get to do every week since we do the broadcasting. Myself and John, make up KnappDaddyRacing. We started as a iRacing design shop about a year ago. Still do a ton of designs, logos, templates, whatever you need. Be sure to check it out. You can grab it on KnappDaddyRacing.com. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. It's a huge support, not only for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series guys, but for us as well. We are really trying to be as much as we can, the one-stop iRacing shop for all of your needs. Even if you're not into iRacing and you just want to show a little extra support, we have hats for sale, shirts for sale, things like that. And we really appreciate it. We really appreciate the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series guys for this opportunity, and we appreciate all of y'all for tuning in.
I'm seeing here Jake Euler actually did post it in here at the bottom. Euler Sim Racing here on YouTube, doing YouTube Live right now. So if you want to see a different perspective, you can go check his page out there. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow all the social media things you do now over on Euler Sim Racing as well.
And as we're getting them lined up here to go, just a couple of quick cleanup facts about this race. We are doing 200 laps here tonight at Charlotte. The guys are going to be on a 65% fuel tank, which I actually just got the memo that is probably somewhere between 30 and 35 laps of green flag racing, depending on how you save. Then we'll have one fast repair, meaning that if you get damage, you can go down the pits and have your damage repaired in the same amount of time it would take to do a regular pit stop, but you only get one of those, so use it wisely. We do have stage breaks at lap 50 and lap 100. There will be a caution flag thrown for those, and points are awarded for where you finish at the stage breaks. I believe it's 10 points for first, all the way down to 1 point for 10th. You also get bonus points for leading the most laps. You get bonus points for being the biggest overall mover in the race. And then if you finish the race with 0 incident points, which is very, very difficult to do, especially at a really fast track like Charlotte, you will get bonus points for that as well, but it does encourage clean racing.
I love it. These guys are starting to grid up here. Go ahead and pull up our starting grid for the night. Starting here on the front row, you have Jacob Hutnick, who took the pole here tonight, had a fast car. But the past few weeks has ran into just a little bit of trouble, but I think he's got a good car, going to be able to try to pull something out here tonight. Hopefully bring it home for himself. I actually have him in my top 3 as well, if I had to pick my trifecta, my normal 1, 2, 3. Start beside him is going to be Ryan Moyer. In that second row, we have Frank the Tank Marchese and Greg McConey, 2 teammates, going to be right beside each other. 5th place is going to be George Jules. 6th place, Jamie Horn. 7th, Simon Grills. 8th place is James Fox. Filling out that 5th row is going to be Craig Knoll, Kenneth McCullough Jr. 6th row is going to be RER's driver Craig Bontrager and Aiden Wilson. Coming back here to 13th, you have Garrett Fox and Jake Euler in 14th, Cody Bullock in 15th, Brandon Trush in 16th, Tyler Justice in 17th, Jay Vault 18th, Austin Norris and Chris McCullough in 19 and 20, and Dylan Canova and James Muriel starting in the back of the field. And I timed that up perfectly because we are about to go green.
Pace car is off. I love Charlotte. Let's get it going. Green flag racing. Big checkup there on the high side. Huge checkup. What in the world happened up there?
Everybody's slowing down there.
I don't think James Fox was able to get it going, and it slid that top line back all the way to out of the top 10.
Greg McConey's making some moves. I'm trying to figure out where Frank Marchese went. He's off the track right now.
Looks like he had to reconnect. Looks like it might have been some internet issues there.
Hopefully he can get back pretty quick and only go maybe 1 or 2 down. I don't know how many cautions we're going to see here tonight. Just depends on the aggression. But other than that, you got George Jewell up here trying to make a move right behind Jacob Hutnick, who's fell back just a little bit.
He has fallen back just a little bit. Ryan Moyer took the lead in that time span. Greg McConey making a move to take it right back, and it's looking like he's going to do that right here.
Yeah, and Greg actually posted tonight, or a few days ago about tonight, that we have a new teammate for the Trash Panda race team, and that's going to be number 57, Austin Norris. First time with us tonight in that yellow 57 car with a Trash Panda on the side.
Great cars.
Gotta love it.
I believe I just saw the 84 of Frank Marchese down there on the apron. Forge Val saying Frank had internet issues and disconnected on the grid. That is so unfortunate. I would imagine that probably is what caused a little bit of that little shuffle that we saw there at the beginning. I thought, to me on my screen, I didn't even see Frank's car. It just looked like someone just didn't get him going at that point. But Greg McConey pulling out to about 0.2 of a second lead here. Ryan Moyer still right behind him. Jacob Hutnick now in third.
And moving up pretty quick. I got Garrett Fox, man. Just split 3 wide there between Cody Bullock and Craig Bontrager. Craig into Cody Bullock. He's going to be around. And that's going to be unfortunate, but that's actually going to benefit Frank Marchese. He's going to be able to get that lap back. This is only going to be 3 laps down now.
It's huge for him. I'm not seeing too much damage on Cody's car. I think he was able to get it slowed down pretty well. Craig might have a little bit more damage. They do have that fast repair, but you got to consider, especially at a 1.5 mile like Charlotte, if you only have a minute of damage, you can get most of it fixed before the pack would come around. You don't have to burn it.
Yeah, for something like that, I don't know if I would burn it just yet if I'm Craig. And I'm sure he knows that too. You don't want to spoil that too early just in case. You can see Cody Bullock, a little bit of damage on that hood there popped up. We are going to take a quick, probably 15-second break so I can adjust one camera setting that's driving me insane right now. So we will be right back in a second. And we are back. That is my apologies there. We make cameras every week for every track that we go to. And I noticed earlier on that one of our blimp cameras, which is one of my favorite cameras, was zoomed all the way out. I want to make sure we get that fixed just so we can offer some better angles for everybody. But while we're sitting here, let's see if we can jump back to that caution that just happened there.
And then one thing to note tonight as well, typically we will have external race control, throwing the cautions and things like that. We do not have it tonight, but still wanted to give a big shout out to our typical guy, Joe Hutchings, always out here putting it on for race control. It's a thankless job, and he does a really good job. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Joe. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week. have a few for me since it's your birthday and all.
Yeah, as we just saw in that replay, looks like Craig Bontrager came up just a little too much coming out of the end of that tri-oval there. It happens. I guess this is really a tri-oval. It's more like a quad oval.
Yeah, it's like quad oval's probably a little bit better way to put it, but you know, we talked about in the beginning of the race how this is the only like super speedway, or not super speedway, any major NASCAR style track that you and I have both been on. You underestimate how badly on a track steep like this, how badly the car wants to just go into the wall.
Yeah. And for anybody wanting to drive on this track, you can do so with the Richard Petty driving experience at Charlotte. I'm pretty sure Atlanta has it. I think Las Vegas has it as well. As these drivers start to come around here, you will be able to see on the track there is 2 little hashes that appear periodically. I know there's one coming up right here in turn 3. Right here, there's 2 little hashes there, and that's the line for the Richard Petty driving experience. They tell you to drive into. It's the safest line. It's the line of best fit, as they call it. But you do have a spotter screaming at you the whole time to keep it down and speed up. So those are 2 things that are really hard to do when you haven't drove a car like that before.
You're like, I don't want to go any faster. I'm scared. And also the car wants to put me in that front row over there. We are getting them lined back up here. Green flag racing again. Greg McConey taking the green flag. Simon Grill's making a move for second now. And he is going to get it.
Like Garrett Fox is trying to get underneath George Jewell here to make that pass.
And they're about to go 3 wide right there. So it looks like we did shuffle things up a little bit. I know that Craig and Cody had to go down pits for sure to get some damage repaired. I think maybe a couple other drivers might have also brought it down. Thinking maybe Jamie Horn and Craig Knoll.
I believe I saw Jamie Horn come down. I did see Kenneth McCullough Jr. come down. It might have been Craig Knoll. Cannot remember right off the top.
Frank Marchese also absolutely back in this race. Only 1 lap down. And the only car a lap down currently as well. So any upcoming caution will get him back on the lead lap, and he will be back out there racing with the rest of them. There's like a big jumble up around 6th place.
Looking at Frank's car, it looks like he got that the damage fixed as well. George Jewell trying to make this move on Simon Grills on the inside. If he can make it stick to this low lane, he might have it. You got to get a good drive out of here coming out of turn 2. Oh, and he just gets him. Turns Simon Grills around. That's going to bring out our 2nd caution of the night.
Unfortunate to see that for Simon Grills. Looked like he had a very fast car. And it looked like that might... Uh-oh. Is that thing turning?
Oh, yeah, he's good.
The way it drifted up there, I was like, oh, no, that's a toe link.
I think he kind of just door slammed the wall there on his right side, too, so...
Should be fine to get that thing back up and going. Which is going to put your Lucky Dog winner as Frank Marchese. And even after a disconnection on the first lap, is going to be back on the lead lap and good to go. Your top 5 coming into this next restart is going to be Greg McConey, Ryan Moyer, Aiden Wilson, Dylan Canova, and Garrett Fox.
See if we can go back to this crash here that happened.
Looking like everyone's bringing it down pit road. Oh, the fake out from Dylan Canova staying out. Garrett Fox also. James Fox and Jake Euler all staying out.
Yeah, Greg McConey's going to come down. Ryan Moyer also coming down. What was that fuel mileage you said?
30 to 35.
Trying to do some math here in my head to see how many stops are going to take. I did see Jamie Horn pit a little earlier along with Kenneth McCullough.
At this point in the race, I mean, you're also considering that these guys just might be making plays for the stage win, with it being as many points as it can be. I mean, you got a stage coming up at lap 50. We're on lap 14 right now. You pit now, you have half a chance to make it. But also, as we discussed earlier, Charlotte can eat up your tires. And if you find yourself in a position where you've maybe pushed it a little bit too hard, trying to either work your way back up or work your way toward the front, once your tires die here, there's a noticeable drop off.
Yeah, especially coming out of turn 3, I feel like it's where you see it a lot. Because even if the tires do wear, I feel like you can still kind of push it into turn 1 a little bit, manipulate just your driving in style. Turn 3 is where it's going to really tighten up. Coming into 3 and really getting out on 4, you're going to see a lot of guys start to plow up into that wall as the race goes on. Some might have the opposite problem, get a little loose. Usually, if you drive into a corner too hard, you're shifting that weight to that right front, and it's eventually going to tighten up the car as the run goes on. For the opposite effect, if you drive out a little too early or a little too aggressive, you'll burn up that right rear most of the time, sometimes the left rear as well, which will get you really loose on exit as the run goes on. So 2 different ways of driving it. Most drivers tend to overdrive corners. Most people overdrive it. A lot of people don't really overdrive coming out. They mostly overdrive coming in, getting too hard on the brakes, a lot of weight shifting to the front.
And with as tight as they run them here at Charlotte, that's when you'll start, especially later on in green flag runs, that's when you'll really start to see some mistakes get made. But with the pit road strategy there, do have a little bit of a shuffle up here in your top 5. Dylan Canova going to be taking the green flag here in first. Garrett Fox in second. James Fox the second in the third position. Jake Euler in fourth. And Jacob Hutnick in fifth. And then as Forge Val says back in the comments, we're so back, let's go. Frank Marchese in 22nd position, back on the lead lap. But we are coming to the green flag here. Away goes Dylan Canova. Great jump for him. And that is a lap lead.
Kind of interesting to see him take the high side like that this early on. That could just be a strategy thing for him. I know in turn 1 and 2, it's pretty much unanimous almost that the low side is a really good way to go. If you can get in there, you'll see a sign on the wall. The right side is usually the breaking point for these next-gen cars. When you see the Charlotte sign on the right, usually where guys start to let off. It comes a little bit later than you would think. You actually see it way up there, almost in the turn. About right here where Canova's at. But the way this angle is set up in this turn and the banking's set up, it allows you to kind of diamond into this corner a little bit more and get a good drive out, float that car up into the wall. I do like his run up here on the high side in 3 and 4. If you can master that, you're going to have a fast car all night. Fortunately, it does burn up the tires just a little bit, but you're going to be very fast running up there.
I was going to say, I mean, maybe he's practiced this or something like that, because he went immediately to that high side and has been staying up there.
Yeah, the Garrett Fox is taking the complete opposite strategy here. Sticking low on both sides.
Yeah, only diamonding it out right at the very end.
But that's the fun thing about Charlotte. There's multiple lines. I don't like tracks that have one line that everybody runs. It makes passing hard. Here you can really stack them up, get some good racing going on for the whole race.
Yeah. And this whole race, it seems like there's always been like a lot of battling going on right in that like 5th and 6th position there. See right there, Kenneth McCullough work his way around Cody Bullock. He's up there trying to make a move, or that was Jamie Horn, excuse me. Now Jamie's up there trying to move on McCullough, but Cody Bullock's right there fighting back, sticking to that low side.
Yeah, and Jamie's going to have that run coming on the high side there. It's kind of hard when you are on the low side to get a good run out if there is somebody up top, because you can't drive out as straight. You're still kind of turning the tire as you're hitting the gas, which is also burning up more tires. So Cody's going to let him by here and save up a little bit. As Jamie Horn moves up another spot. He's in 7th place now.
Something I noticed here that Simon Grills is gaining a lot of time on entry, and it seems like it's drifting back just a little bit on the straightaways. Like, see how if you're on this entry right here, you can see how much closer he gets to Cody Bullock, and then it just seems like things start pulling away from him in the straights.
Yeah, he's running that middle lane there. Got a good run, but he's probably going to have a run on this high side coming out.
Like I said, of course, as I say that, he's found his lane. He's right back up there looking like he's going to be able to complete that pass here in the next lap or so.
It's going to be a tough move here going into the high side, going into 1 and 2 to make this pass. See if you can get to the gas just a little bit earlier and hold it straight coming out. This car will loosen up as you get into the gas coming out of this turn. If you stab the gas too hard, you're going to spin it. End up face first in that wall on the pit exit side where the blue cone is.
And all of our 22 cars currently on the lead lap. Frank Marchese looks like he's moved up a couple spots, was in 19th. He's currently battling with the 63 of Craig Knoll for that spot. Currently your last two on the track is Craig Bontrager and the newcomer to the Trash Panda League, or Trash Panda Motorsports, Austin Norris.
Sitting here watching Frank Marchese, Tyler Justice, Brandon Trush all here in a little group together. Tyler Justice just on the inside here. Brandon Trush trying to get a little bit of speed to get out of these corners good and get around them, but Trush is doing a fantastic job holding them off right now. It's also making them work really hard. If you can't clear them, at least make it super hard for them. You know, burn the tires off. Got to play a little bit of defense and offense here.
Oh, big shuffling going on up toward the front of the pack. The 58's around. Oh, and it's going to cause a big pile up.
That is Brandon Trush there, James Fox.
It was James Fox. It was James Fox that had gotten loose. I'm not sure if I didn't catch what started him getting loose, but I saw him getting loose, and he looked like he almost had it. And then right about when he had it, he kind of dipped down to the bottom of the track, went across the nose of Cody Bullock, and he tried to bring it back up onto the track a little too quick. And that just, you know, caused the rest of it to... Let's go back and take a look at this one. I'm actually very curious to see what this one looks like.
It looks like James Murrell also involved in that as well. So we hop into the cockpit here with James Fox. Yeah, he's loose on the top of 3. Just can't save it there.
And then they pile up. It's like Marchese might have gotten a little bit of damage there too. Definite damage on James Fox's car.
Ooh. 10 car J Vault just to squeeze by. Unfortunately for Frank, he gets into it. His teammate Austin Norris behind him hits him. I believe that's going to be J Vault in that 27 car, or not J Vault, James Murrell, I'm sorry. Cody Bullock, Brandon Trush taking damage.
Yeah, and especially for James. That 27 of James Muriel is probably in a tough spot.
Frank Marchese still got a lot of damage to that front left, man. That's going to make him really loose coming around.
Craig Knoll probably has a lot of work to do on that car.
Austin Norris still sitting here in the pits. Also got Cody Bullock sitting here in the pits still. Been involved in 2 accidents tonight.
Well, and neither of them his fault, which is always super fun when you're out there on the track and you've been involved in 2 of the 3 and you didn't cause them.
Oh, trust me, I know all about that.
I am curious. I mean, I wonder if maybe Fox drove it in a little bit hard, if there's a net code issue. So I heard Ryan Moyer come over the radio and say, I don't think that was me. I didn't touch him. He was the last car that went by. And it just, I mean, it looked to us like James just got a little bit loose and he was trying to save it. And unfortunately, especially at a fast track like Charlotte, if you try to save it a little too quick, you know, that's going to put you right back in the middle of all the trouble.
Yeah, we kind of hinted towards that earlier about just stabbing the gas a little bit. You can kind of really kick this back in around too much. I do like the next gen cars. I'm in that unpopular opinion where I like the forward number, the number all the way at the front of the car. I think that's really cool, especially being a designer. Like, it kind of helps from my side, but I also kind of like the way these cars drive a little bit. Some downfalls to it is they don't have a lot of power, so it is a little bit harder to spin them around using that throttle. But at tracks like this, especially with little bumps, it can really upset the car. And they're also made of glass, it seems like, at some points.
Pace car is off. Your top 5, Dylan Canova, Jake Euler, Jacob Hutnick, Jamie Horn, and Kenneth McCullough Jr. They are back racing. Dylan Canova out to another great jump there. Looked like the top lane had a little bit more trouble getting going.
You know, I've been really impressed with Jake Euler tonight, running up here at the front. He's having a good run. Falling back a little bit 3 wide on that high side. Holds it together well. Greg McConey's going to get around 3 wide again. Ryan Moyer on the bottom side. That's going to be Chris McCullough behind him. Jake is up in the wall.
Actually, that was a scary place to be there. It looked like maybe Jake didn't get the greatest of restarts there. And so as everyone was trying to work their way around him, that's what caused the 3 wide. Great job by everybody there to hold it on. But it looks like Oilers are probably going to lose about 4 or 5 spots total. Jamie Horn ducking inside Ryan Moyer right there. Trying to get up there and see if he has anything for the 77 of Jacob Hutnick.
Yeah, if he can make this dive into 3 and 4, make it stick to that white and blue line there, he can get a good run out. The thing with this track, it kind of reminds me of Bristol a little bit. When you're coming out of the corners, you're kind of trusting that the driver above you is also going high, because if you're like me and not running with a VR headset or triple monitors where you can just look left or right, you're kind of just hoping that the guy above you goes high as well, because you both want to push out as high as possible. So sometimes you don't see that guy above you. And those are 2 really good drivers, so I know they have that mutual respect and mutual trust for each other to do the right thing here.
One thing that I'm noticing here as well is that we were talking earlier about how Dylan Canova seems like he's liking to run, or has been liking to run, about a lane higher than everybody else. Jamie Horn noticeably going in to the inside quicker than everybody else.
Yeah, me and Jamie have actually practiced here before for another league in these cars, and I think we both agree the inside is a fun line to run. I know sometimes I will go to the outside in 3 and 4 here, just because it does have a little bit of speed and gives you an option to pass. But if you're really trying to save up your tires, it's going to be that inside lane.
Tires definitely going to come into play here. Lap 33 of 200 here. Got a stage break coming up at lap 50. A lot of battling going on up there in that top 3 and 4. Logan Bontrager in the comments saying, let's go 35. Rooting for the 35 of Craig Bontrager, currently running in 13th right now.
Trying to see. Oh, he just takes a
McCullough's
hit.
Around. McCullough's around. Jamie Horn was around there a little bit as well. I think he mostly saved it, but
Lock him up, Jamie. There you go. That was close. Watch out. And Jamie gets hit again. Somebody backing up. Jamie's catching the short end of the stick on that one as he got in that accident, and also try to lock him up and stop to avoid another accident, and then tries to get around him and then just gets hit by somebody else.
I did just hear Kenneth McCullough come over the radio and say sorry. And then Jamie came over the radio saying it's okay. I saw you getting a little bit tight. I was trying to get out of the way. Also hearing second place runner Greg McConey come over the radio asking if he has damage, and it sounds like he might have a little bit.
Yeah, Jamie didn't take a lot of damage here. Locks it up behind Craig Bontrager to avoid that one, and then he's just trying to get around here, and then bang. Jamie just kind of sits there and thinks about it.
Yeah, it looked like McCullough was just trying to get it up off the wall, and the thing just springboarded.
See, I thought this started back here with Grills and Bontrager. Grills kind of comes down a little bit, Bontrager comes up, which was a whole nother accident in itself at the same time.
Yeah, it basically just kind of collided into that first caution.
Let's take a look here from the cockpit of Frank Marchese as he drives through this. 2 wrecks at the same time. What a move. Good on Frank. Great move.
That 35 of Bontrager definitely going to have damage. Jamie Horn. Austin Norris back down pit road as well. Kenneth McCullough Jr. definitely going to be dealing with some damage. James Fox still on pit road. That's going to be a big shuffle up for some of these guys up in the higher positions. Forge Val saying Frankie avoided that like a pro. He dodged 2 wrecks. Race leader still going to be the 34 machine of Dylan Canova. 83 of Greg McConey going to be in second place. Aiden Wilson. Oh!
What just happened there? What in the world? That is unfortunate.
I just heard over the radio. It's, at least in that moment, looks like Dylan Canova was up in front. Greg McConey blinked out. And then when he blinked back in, it turned the 34 of Canova.
He wasn't even blinked in yet. He was still completely out whenever Canova was getting turned. He got turned by a ghost. That's really unfortunate. And I mean,
That is.
it's not like McConey's trying to do that. He doesn't control his internet there, but yeah, he was completely out whenever Canova got turned there. And nothing Dylan Canova could do there, but
Yep.
that's sim racing for you. That happens.
That is sim racing for you. I believe Greg McConey going to take an EOL on that. I think not just for the turn. I think that's also just to see if we can get the internet issues figured out. McConey also has some damage as a result, so he's actually on pit road right now. But they did extend that caution 1 lap as a result of that little mishap right there. So Dylan Canova going to still be your race leader. Jacob Hutnick, the 77 in second. Aiden Wilson in third. Christopher McCullough in fourth. And Tyler Justice in fifth. Make up your current top 5.
Oh, I'm having fun.
Greg McConey still on pit road as the leaders are coming around.
See if we can check in with Greg over here. Because, I mean, he kind of hit that wall head first. You know he's got some damage from that.
100%. But we are back to green flag racing. Here we go. Another great restart by Dylan Canova.
Aiden Wilson's worked his way back up. He's up 9 spots, up 20 spots. Your biggest mover of the night and your race leader for a few laps now is Dylan Canova still.
Well, Dylan's done a great job. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, Broden. Maybe a little bit more of an unorthodox line.
Oh,
but
that's George
there's
Jewell.
trouble.
I can spot his blue car from here.
There was almost more trouble up in front of him, but I think they straightened it back out.
Let's see if we can get to that one pretty quickly here. Kind of started at the beginning of turn 3 and started wrecking in turn 4 almost. That's Jay Vault just getting to the side of him. Garrett Fox gives him a push. Cody Bullock involved again. Jamie Horn gets hit again. Craig locks it up, avoids a wreck there.
Yeah, I think the 10 might have just drove it in a little bit hard on him right there. We talk about it a lot at tracks like Bristol, and again, to make that weird comparison that you made earlier that is now making a lot more sense, to a track like Bristol where if you give someone a bump in the wrong spot, then it causes a whole thing. And I think that's just pretty much a case of that, where bump in the wrong spot starts a whole thing. And just heard Cody Bullock come over the radio, and in an effort to get us a few more laps under green flag, we are going to restart them single file.
I feel like that is like the league timeout almost. Whenever your admin says we're going to restart single file, you're like, all right, we got to straighten it up.
That's the all right knuckleheads.
Yeah, settle down.
Yeah, that's your dad coming into the room when you've been watching SpongeBob a little too loud and going, "Hey." It's the uh-oh moment.
Yeah.
It's the we got to start behaving. Because at this point we've had, I believe it's 5 cautions. We haven't even made it to the first stage yet. I would say that is a little out of the ordinary for this league. Normally guys are racing very, very clean here. So not everything's been super serious or big wrecks or crash outs or anything like that, but had a couple of bad bumps over the last couple, and so
what is our stage breaks here?
50 and 100. I kind of do support this decision by Cody here to try to see if we can get it to the end of the stage here, because I mean, we're going to be dealing with a situation now where you're going to start having guys come to the end of the first stage and have already had to use their fast repair. McConey 2 laps down, currently trying to make sure he gets his internet figured out. Cody Bullock 2 laps down, dealing with some damage on pit road. Jamie Horn just making it off of pit road.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it either. I mean, it happens, but
Yep.
it happened to us. What was it? Saturday night at Daytona, of all
Yep.
places. Now, I'm sorry if anybody in that league is in here, but it took us 2.5 hours to drive 80 laps at Daytona, and they had to go single file because of it.
Yeah. I like Cody putting it in single file at this point, though. Like you said, it's kind of a. It's the snap. It's the. All right, let's get under control, boys. Let's get this thing going. Pace car is off. Dylan Canova taking your lead once again. Jacob Hutnick, Aiden Wilson, Jake Euler, and Chris McCullough taking the green flag here. Single file restart. Here they go. Another great restart by Dylan Canova. That's 3 in a row for him. Really impressed with his restarts here tonight.
Kind of a slow start back here for some of these guys. I don't know who checked up or what happened, but Jake Euler kind of getting a run. Simon Grills into the wall again. He's going to be able to save it. Garrett Fox going low. Ryan Moyer around him. That's Kenneth McCullough Jr., the 03 car. James Fox is looking to make a pass now.
Yeah, Simon needs to get that thing back up to speed because he's in a dangerous position here. Looking like he about has it back under control now, but that was about to be a problem. There were people that were starting to stack up.
Looks like they're trying to maybe push it 3 wide here.
Yeah, and these guys are trying to push it forward. We're on lap 44 here. Only 6 laps away from our first stage break. Jay Vaught looking like he's slipping back a little bit there. Frank Marchese going to work his way around and get the 7th position.
Yeah, Frank's on a mission to get back up there. Dylan Canova falling back. 3 wide right now. Tyler Justice on the bottom. Christopher McCullough, the meat and the sandwich.
And that's 2 teammates on the top and bottom there. Got to make sure you keep this careful so you don't cause any sort of issues. Great driving out of the both of them. Jay Vaught still continuing to slide back.
Look at Frank with a run here. Get it, Frank.
Ryan Moyer also starting to work
Somebody's
his way back
in the
up
wall.
into 59.
Look, that's Garrett Fox in the very back. Got into the wall. Green flag stays out. That's Greg McConey taking it low, trying to get away from him for a second. I'm not sure what happened.
Get around.
That's going to make Jacob Hutnick your new race leader. Aiden Wilson's been making a push tonight and here up the front. And we talked about Euler earlier. Like I said, he's been having a good run. I know as soon as I said his name earlier, he had that bad restart, but back up here in 3rd place.
Yeah, worked his way back up. Got over. Everyone's going to have issues. You're going to have little mistakes here and there. I know, like you said, right last time you mentioned his name, he had that bad restart and he got shuffled back and was in a kind of a sketchy 3 wide there for a second. But he's worked his way all the way back up to 3rd. And Aiden Wilson just been very, very consistently running in the top 5 since early on in this race. Worked his way up 10 spots from 12th to be where he is now. And doing a really, really consistent, good job.
And also, it's like
Christopher McCullough back there in 4th as well.
Yeah, we've also got George Jewell, who's making a good push, making his way back after that wreck earlier. Part of that RER team, trying to catch up with some of his teammates up there and help him out.
And there is a clump around 10th. Jamie Horn working his way through that was great racing by Jamie Horn there. That was a 3 wide. And he not only worked his way through the 3 wide, but actually got around the guy that was in front, the 35 of Craig Bontrager. That's a great move. I think Dylan Canova's tires might be shot. He is losing time and fast.
Yeah, I got Canova back here. It's now sitting in 15th. Led a lot of laps, but I think if I had to take a guess, it's that high side, man. That high side will really tear him up.
And he did a great job with it. You know, there's a little bit of pit road strategy that comes into play, especially with all these cautions. When you've been getting great restarts like he was, I mean, he had 3 or 4 great restarts in a row. It's really easy to convince yourself, oh, I don't need to come down for tires just yet. And then you realize you're in a position where, oh my God, I really should have gone down and gotten tires. But that is going to be the end of our first stage of racing. Congratulations to Jacob Hutnick for working his way back up to the front. He is going to finish in first of this stage. Aiden Wilson going to get the second place stage points. Jake Euler third. Christopher McCullough fourth. Ryan Moyer fifth. Tyler Justice sixth. George Jules 7. Frank Marchese in eighth. Simon Grills 9 and Jamie Horn 10. And those are your point winners for this stage. Congratulations to them. Through this caution, Greg McConey also going to get one of his laps back, putting him only one lap down. Currently in last place, you're going to have Cody Bullock, who is 11 laps down and is currently on the pit road trying to get some of that damage repaired. Forge Val saying 2 laps down, from 2 laps down into 8th. The Italian Stallion is pounding. He is working his way back up there. Obviously got a very fast car tonight.
Yeah, pulling up the track info right now. We got a track temp of, looks like 74 degrees. Which is almost consistent with the weather. It's 72 degrees outside at this track right now. So cool track. These guys are going to have a good speed and good grip coming through here. But it looks like everybody's going to pit right now, take some tires. Dylan Canova really has nothing to worry about at this point. I mean, if anything, use that first run as a test run and see how hard you pushed it and just kind of make adjustments from here. But he knows he's got a fast car and knows he can drive up there at the front. I wouldn't be worried at all if I was him. Matter of fact, I might be telling you over my spotter channel that I feel pretty good right now about this.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of good takeaways there actually from that first stage. Like you said, if I was someone like Dylan Canova, like, yeah, you're unfortunately slid out of that top 10. You didn't get the stage points. So that's unfortunate, but you learned a lot and you know how long you can run in front and how long you can run fast on old tires. Like we talked about, tires are a huge issue here at Charlotte. And realistically, to be 48, 49 laps into a run and still be able to compete, yeah, we had a lot of cautions, but I still think that's a really impressive run by him. Frank Marchese, obviously, he's got a very fast car out there, being able to work his way up the way he has. Craig Bontrager been able to bounce his way back from a couple of issues. Jamie Horn dealt with a couple of cautions and a lot of damage here tonight. Going to be restarting third here. I think he's absolutely going to be a contender. Brandon Trush, saw him near the back earlier on, up in 5th place right now. And then Jacob Hutnick, I mean, just did a great job on that last restart, working his way up. I think that pretty much everyone in that top 5 right now is going to be some people who I'm going to keep my eye on for the rest of the race. Also, fun facts for any of our baseball fans out there. AJ Smith-Shawver threw a no-hitter into the 8th.
I was seeing the updates and I wasn't going to say anything. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. To quote the great
especially
Michael
about
Scott.
AJ Smith-Shawver.
Especially about Braves baseball, man. We just don't talk about it, you know. I mean, I guess people can tell from this broadcast as much as I've jinxed everybody else and worked in the public service industry for a good number of years, and I think that's where a lot of superstitions are built between healthcare and other public service industries, and yeah, it haunts me, man. We don't talk about it.
We are going to be reshuffled again a little bit going into this next restart. Going to have Jamie Horn in first, Brandon Trush in second, George Jewell in third, Jacob Hutnick 4, and Aiden Wilson in 5th after everyone goes through their pit stops and pit cycles again. Pace car is off. Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. What a restart by Jamie Horn. Good Lord.
And to clarify, I meant that AJ Smith-Shawver and the Braves baseball and superstition scare me. That is where my troubles come from in life.
Collectively.
Jamie Horn's got a huge jump here. Brandon Trush kind of finding himself up here in second place for the first time tonight. Was involved in an incident earlier, also with George Jewell. They're both up here at the front, traveling hard, making some progress to catch up. But Jamie Horn has got a rocket.
He has got a rocket ship, and he lit the gas under that thing. He took off.
I'm kind of curious to see Garrett Fox, what he's going to do at the end of this race, because I remember earlier he was pushing. And I don't know if he was just tearing it up out there or if he's just kind of pacing himself, but I think he might have a good run near to the front tonight.
Someone else I'm keeping my eye on right now is the 59 of Ryan Moyer. Look at how he's moving through the pack right now. I mean, he is dancing. The 77 of Jacob Hutnick, who has been very, very fast tonight, had nothing for him there. And he also worked his way around the 7 of Jake Euler.
Trying to look at the pit stop laps now. It looks like Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush were only two people in the top 10 right now that did not pit. Jamie Horn brought it down to lap 41. So, I mean, he's got, what, about 11 laps less tires than these other guys, but that's enough here to make a difference.
100%. Yeah, I think you're probably going to really start to notice that maybe 10, 12 laps in. We are 3 wide in the middle of the pack. Jay Vaught gets hit. He's up there battling with Dylan Canova on the high side. James Fox, Jay Vaught, and Tyler Justice were just duking it out right there.
It looks like Jay Vaught's coming right back up on Tyler Justice there. Justice trying to take a look at the bottom. I just saw George Jewell drop back a few spots, trying to get around Brandon Trush there. Jewell was up at second for just a split second, but Jake Euler now trying to take that spot back, and he does. Aiden Wilson moving up into second place. And he is actually closing the gap a little bit on Jamie Horn. And he's starting to lose it again.
Yeah, if I'm Jamie, I know that I am on those older tires, so I'm probably just trying to get out there and just rocket ship away.
Hopping in the car here with Jamie Horn. And it looks like he's taking that Richard Petty driving experience line. So you can see 2 more hashes coming up right about here on this tri-oval, or the quad oval, I think we called it.
Got shouts to Jewel in the comments saying, let's go RER, go 36, Jewel.
It's not a bad place for him right here coming into turn 3 for George Jewell. He can ride that high side, get a good run, close down the bottom if he wants to, like he's doing right now in front of Brandon Trush. I see Greg McConey dropping to the low side, going into the pits.
I think McConey had some internet issues on that last time by, and he's still trying to get figured out, so he's going to be bringing it down. And I believe Craig Knoll has called it a night or had some sort of internet issues as well. He is no longer on the track. Was running back there in 20th.
Aiden Wilson taking away the spot from Jamie Horn and blinking out for a second. Now he's back there. Don't look now, Jake Euler. 3rd place, talked about him earlier tonight.
Jake Euler's also got a rocket ship. I did just hear Frank Marchese come over the radio saying he's on a little bit older tires. He's fallen back to the back of the pack a little bit. Got to find himself back here in, I believe that's going to be 16th now, as James Muriel has gotten around him.
Yeah, Chris McCullough getting around Brandon Trush here. Christopher is up 14 spots for the night right now. Still trying to push his way forward. That 04 Tarkov car.
Only Tarkov car I've ever seen. I like it. I like it a lot.
Gonna flash over to his teammate in that 03 car, Kenneth McCullough. Sitting near the back right now, probably hoping just saving some tires. Car looks pretty clean, so maybe he can wait for a good run to drive it to the front here, near the end here.
Big battle going on up around 11th right now. I see Dylan Canova. I see Jacob Hutnick. And they are up there duking it out right now. I see them beating and banging on each other.
It's like Jacob's going to try to take that spot from Dylan Canova. Dylan trying to push it 3 wide.
That's going to get tight.
That's going to spin Dylan.
Oh, and then he's going to get into him. That's going to spin Justice. That's going to turn Hutnick around. Kenneth McCullough involved as well. I think McCullough got caught up late. He's coming over to the radio. He's not happy. I think someone came back onto the track before they had it under control.
We'll see if we can try to find this here. I believe I'm looking in the wrong place.
Looks like Greg McConey has also called it a night.
Looks like Hutnick was coming up. Maybe expecting Canova to be a little bit higher there. That's going to spin Hutnick around, or not Hutnick, Canova.
We were talking about how they were kind of battling it back and forth. And it looks like just some bad timing there. Canova's continuing to come down. Hutnick's trying to go up. That's going to get him loose.
Here's Kenneth McCullough. Trying to see what happened here. Tyler Justice backing up on the track. And that's unfortunate for him. That might be a matchup you want to keep an eye on.
Yeah. That's a little tough. It looked like he might have been trying to slow it down a little bit, but was still kind of hauling through there, and then that's a place to back the car up.
Yeah, I see what Kenneth's saying there. Kenneth's just trying to get through. And I agree, that is a place.
It's a place. It was a pretty good green flag run for us. Found our way to lap 70 now. Next stage break coming up at lap 100. Currently, the only drivers who have called it a night is Greg McConey and Craig Knoll. And then I just saw him drift off the track and disappear. Unfortunately for the fan club, it looks like Frank Marchese might be having some sort of issues again as well, as he is no longer on the track.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to him now, and it's not pulling him up. But before we go back green here, well, let's get us going green first for a second. Still don't have Frank on the track. Green flag racing. Ryan Moyer is going to jump out to the front, leading that lap. Craig Bontrager, Christopher McCullough right behind him. While we're sitting here going green, I do have Cody Bullock coming up to the booth. Cody, you got a copy with us?
Yes, sir.
Bro, what's going on out there tonight?
Oh, this is hectic. I thought after a road course race, this would be a little bit more relaxed. This is insane.
Yeah,
The boys are pushing.
we saw you get into 3 incidents, I think, tonight. None of them your fault.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's there's still 128 laps to go. We're racing like it's 5. I can't believe it. But yeah, I just got caught up in some stuff, man.
How much damage did you have to your car when you pitted there?
Too much. And they said it was done.
Oh, so it wouldn't even let you have any repairs at all.
Oh no, pit crew went home, but they took their money for the day and the race check, and they're out of here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I really like this track a whole lot. I mean, it sucks when you get put out early here. This is one of those tracks I feel like you could have a long run and just take it to the end.
Yeah, this is, was my favorite track to run these cars at. But I don't know. There's some guys that are running really good. But it's also the pit strategies, man. I mean, everybody's running different pit strategies, and some people have newer tires, other people don't. And then the people that stay out just get freight trained, and some of them get a little nervous and, just make a little wiggle or something, and you get turned or you get hit, and you don't know how to correct it, and it's just making it, everybody's just on edge, and instead of just driving relaxed. So
We were talking about that a little bit earlier too, with the different pit road strategies that have been going on. Charlotte will eat up your tires, and when you get some of these guys that are out here on the older tires, it's just going to make them a little bit loose. And then we've also just seen some guys that are just, for lack of a better word, just not trying to take any bull. And you see someone get a little bit loose, and they kind of bump, and they just like, okay, I saw that, bump them right back. And like you said, it's been kind of similar to like 5 to go.
Yeah, there has been zero give and take in this race. Like, zero. And I just can't believe it. Like, watching it right now, like, some of these guys, we're pushing people with...
We're pushing.
Like, a little under 130 to go, and we're pushing people down the front stretch into the tri-oval.
I was going to say, I was looking right there. I think it was Aiden Wilson and Ryan Moyer that were kind of up there, and I know Ryan's been fast here tonight, and so is Aiden, and it seems like guys are not trying to wait around.
No, it's just blowing my mind, man. I love it for the league because, we had a good amount of cars. I hate it for the guys that got, I guess I might be the only one completely wrecked out. But there's guys having internet issues. But other than that, some of these guys, you got one fast repair, and everybody, like, almost the whole field's used it already.
We were talking about that going into the first stage, and like we were actually talking about that, not to gas you up too much, but we were saying that we think it was a really good idea to pull out the single file restarts, even though it was early, just because you're dealing with a situation where you have one fast repair. Probably half the field had used it by the time we got to the end of stage 1, and that's kind of your, as a moderator or an admin of a league, that's kind of your dad running into the room and going, hey, when you're watching SpongeBob a little bit too loud. Like, that's like your come to Jesus moment of like, okay, maybe we need to simmer down a little bit. And it's still been bump and grind out there, but it seems to have simmered a little bit.
I didn't want to do it, but I was like, man, this race is going to take all night if we don't get something going. And ever since I did that, it seems like it's calmed down a little bit.
Yep.
That last caution was you know, whatever. I mean, you're gonna have cautions, which is fine, but having six or seven that fast is insane.
Yeah, they were wheeling them off. That last one was, it was probably only going to be a 2-car spin, and they were just racing. And then I think it was maybe a little bit of an unfortunate, guy that got turned trying to back it back up down the track, and another guy was coming in trying to get around it and ended up just smoking him. So,
well, if I sound a little unhappy, not because I'm mad I wrecked out, it's because these guys are way better than this, and everybody is ticked off. And everybody's ticked off in there right now. So I mean,
yeah, it looks like
everybody's racing mad.
Yeah, Brandon Trush just became the meat the sandwich, falls back just a little bit. New race leader is going to be Jake Euler out there putting it down. Frank Marchese underneath him. That pass is not going to be for position. But Jake doing a fantastic job tonight, man. We talked about Jake earlier, probably early on in this race, and I said how impressed I was with the way he was running the track. And, of course, as soon as I said that, bad restart, hits the wall, falls back like 6 spots. But give me a pick for the night. Who do you think is going to win this thing?
I mean, I want to go with one of my guys, which is Garrett Fox. But I really do think if he gets a clean run to the end, he's really good at conserving tires. But, man, it's hard to not pick Moyer. Dude's just insane. So I'll probably go Moyer. I'll give you a top 3. I'll go Moyer, Fox, and Euler. See if I can pick and win on FanDuel.
I wrote it down just so you couldn't change it later on. Take credit.
But yeah, well, I hope it's been as entertaining for you guys up here as it has been for me race controlling this for the last 40-something laps.
Oh, absolutely.
It has been fun.
We look forward to Monday nights.
Yeah, it's been a good time. There's 21 people out there watching. We've been really consistent tonight, so it's been a good show.
Mick Goes Racing in the comments saying, I wish there was a graphics update to iRacing. I believe there was just one like a month ago where they did a facelift to a bunch of tracks and actually let you drive into the infield in a bunch of them now. Bristol's one of those tracks where you can actually get on pit road or victory lane and drive up the ramp. I know they did a whole facelift to Homestead, which I'm super excited for when you guys go to Homestead. That was
gorgeous.
If I had some top tracks, man, Phoenix, Homestead, Charlotte, Old Atlanta, definitely up there.
Oh, dear God, 3 wide.
Jamie Horn's going to take that low side. I think it's past Garrett Fox, Jacob Hutnick on the high side. Yeah, we talked about Garrett Fox earlier, too. If he was just kind of hanging back, he made a good run at the beginning. And I don't know if he was just kind of testing out his stuff and seeing what he had, but he's going to look inside of Jacob Hutnick here. Not going to be able to get it.
I think it might have been a little bit of wheel damage on his first run and he fell backwards. Per sources. I'm the Adrian Wojnarowski of this Cup Series.
But also making a really good run tonight. George Jewell in that 36 car, the RDR team. They've had a lot of bad luck this year. Just seems like trouble always finds them. But George Jewell in the 36 pushing forward tonight, sitting in second place right now.
He was involved in an accident earlier, too.
He was.
I wonder who with.
Probably a little bit of everybody. Might have been a little bit of everybody. I feel like everybody's got to somebody tonight at some point.
I really want those guys to have a good run, man. Their team they got some good guys on the team. It's got some really bad luck.
Yeah, they've had bad luck all year. I think Craig Bontrager's looks kind of brushed up just a little bit. He's been having some better runs. But the RER is a good team. Got good paint schemes by Shasta Jewell in the comments here. Always got a good fan base as well. So I love seeing them out here in the comments and supporting every week.
Must be nice to have fans.
I'm saying, man.
A couple of them.
I feel like I got the opposite of fans sometimes.
That's what I'm thinking. The way I was getting drove tonight, I got way opposite. Probably because I'm in charge of this thing. They'll have that.
While we're sitting here talking about it, George Jewell's going to take that pass for the lead around Jake Euler, and he's kind of pulling away with it right now.
I mean, at this point, when you're about 20 laps into this green flag run, that's when you're really going to start to notice who saved tires and who didn't. I think we saw that a little bit earlier with Canova. he was been pretty consistently up there in first over the last 3 restarts, got good restarts as well. And then he just ended up in a situation where his tires were blown, and he went from first to 12th in 2 laps.
I don't want to chime in on your guys' broadcasting here, but it's about to get real busy with 10 laps to go in this stage.
Yeah.
These boys.
We were talking earlier about how me and Cody about how that there's just not been a whole lot of give and take this race. Normally at a track like Charlotte, you're going to see like kind of that, you go forward, I go forward, you go forward, I go forward, and then we kind of race it out at the end. These guys have been going at it from lap 1, and they're racing angry. They're racing like they want it, which is fun to see and makes for a really good show. Also makes for a long show.
That's no joke right there. Long show.
Yeah,
For sure.
Pulling up the deltas here between George Jewell and Jake Euler. George Jewell has been about a second faster, gained about half a second to catch up with him. He's also taken about half a second in front of him now too, so he is pulling away here to try to take the stage win.
He's got 8 laps to go, so he's still got some time, but if he's gaining deltas like that, Euler's already a second behind. McCullough Jr. is almost 2 seconds behind.
Yeah,
he might have just saved it at just the right time.
We go back to Jake Euler and Kenneth McCullough Jr.'s deltas here too, and looks like McCullough in the past 6 laps has also caught up a second on Jake Euler.
Jamie Horn's making his way through the track Jamie Horn's making his way through the field as well. Past couple laps. I swear when I just looked, he was like 9th, and now he's all the way up in 5th.
Man, Jamie is good. Very nice, quiet guy, but he's going to run it down the track.
And kind of to the point you were making a few minutes ago about Garrett Fox. He's one of those guys that, like, when I think of Jamie, I think of a guy that can save tires really well. And at a track like Charlotte, that's going to really start to show out. And 6 laps to go, there's still time, but 3.4 is a pretty good gap to make up. But also, we were talking about earlier with like tire damage and things like that. Dylan Canova now back in 17th, last car on the lead lap, 28 seconds behind and losing time.
I think he's got some damage. He's got some damage to that front right from where I think he got spun by Greg McConey under that, what was it, netcode phantom yellow internet issue problem. I don't know if it's affecting him that much though.
That's what happened. I forgot.
Yeah, Trash Panda team has had some internet trouble tonight. Unfortunate to see because McConey was up there near the lead at some points, and he's now back on the track, but 10 laps down and in 20th. And Marchese also had another internet issue and now finds himself in 18th, 4 laps down after blinking out in the original green flag start and working his way back up into the top 10. Unfortunately had another internet issue and now back there in 18th. But
Here he
4
comes,
laps.
boys.
Yeah. Ooh, cross him over. Ooh. Jamie Horn going to do a crossover move on Ryan Moyer, try to get up to Jake Euler. Kenneth McCullough Jr. falls back. Yeah, he could. He's going to have a good run.
He is going to get them both here.
He's going to have a great run coming out of there.
He timed that up really well. Euler not quite able to hold on to it going into that turn. Got to imagine he's a little bit tight. Sweet Jesus, look at him go.
Look at the deltas that have came up between George Jewell and Jamie Horn too, man. He has made up about a second, 1.4 seconds in the past 6 here. I don't know if that's going to be enough to catch him before the end of the stage break, but it's got to be a confidence booster at least.
Man, he is putting down some burner lap times right now.
I already say, especially around guys like Moyer and Euler. That's hard to say.
It's very hard to say.
I've messed that up a time or two, got to be honest on that one. But to work your way around guys like that who have been consistently so fast all night long, and then just to be quite frank, make it look a little bit easy right there, 1.6 is going to be tough, and I don't think he's going to have the time to do it. Lap 99, one more lap to go by.
Something I am noticing as we're riding along in the cockpit with Jamie Horn here too is down that front stretch, man. Like, I know after a while the shifting will get a little different, but he's almost not making it out of fourth gear. He's getting right past the start-finish line, then finally shifting. Which I don't know how much fuel is left in his tank, but if he kept running it that way with these tires, it'd probably be just keeping it in fourth all the way down the front.
One lap to go here before the end of this stage break. Jewel up onto the bumper of a lap car.
Jamie Horn is closing it in. Good gracious.
The 13, I think, accidentally blocked right there. George Jewell still going to bring it home in first, but what a run there by Jamie Horn there at the end. Super impressive, and got to be a big confidence booster for him for the rest of the night. But George Jewell going to take home the Stage 2 win. Congratulations to him. Jamie Horn in second. Ryan Moyer third. Jake Euler fourth. Kenneth McCullough Jr. in fifth. Craig Bontrager sixth. Brandon Trush, 7th. Jacob Hutnick, 8. Tyler Justice, 9. And Christopher McCullough, 10. Congratulations to everyone who took home stage points right there.
Yeah, you got to be happy for those RER guys, too, man. They've had a lot of adversity this year. And, I mean, it's just a stage win, but it's got to give you a lot of confidence that you know you can come out here and do it.
Yeah, and you got a lot of your other guys running really well, too. I mean, Craig back there in 6th has a fast car as well. Tyler Justice dealt with some caution issues there a few laps back, and he's back up there in 9th. Same thing for the McCullough team, 5th and 10th. Also dealt with some issues tonight, so a lot of guys dealing with some adversity tonight that have been able to kind of fight their way back up towards the front, which is super encouraging to see. One other thing to check in on, though, as well, to see if he's going to be able to get damage repaired or what else might have happened, is Dylan Canova.
Staying out.
Our race leader for a lot of the beginning of this race, back in 17th, and was a lap down. Looks like he's going to get his lap back here and try to get it back down pit road. Shasta Jewel in the comments saying, way to go, Jewel.
You think they're related?
I'm going to go with yes.
Not a chance.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. I'm gonna return back to the team headquarters.
Yeah.
Go back to the trailer, watch some film, work some things out.
Tell them to pick it up a little bit. Need some team points here.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming up. Always love to get a good input from somebody that's actually doing it instead of me just up here reliving the glory days when I used to do this. So it's been nice having some actual good input here. What are some things, before I let you go, some things we need to be looking out for as this race goes on?
Well, everybody coming out on new tires. I reckon probably watch. We're gonna go back double file restarts. So restarts 100% gonna be a little wild. The guys up front, see if they still have the speed that they had at the end of that stage, or if the guys in the back who were stayed out for last pits, if their new tires help them get back to the front. But I really think that I think you watch the 98. I think he's got a really, really good shot at winning it. Him and Moyer and George Jewell. Hopefully he gets one, man. I want to see him get one for that team and for him. So I'd watch those guys.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming up. Anytime you want to come back up, let us know. We're never going to say no. So feel free.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Appreciate you, man. Take care.
That's Cody Bullock, going to be one of your race admins. Has some unfortunate luck tonight. Got put out just a little early, but I hate it for him. That's going to hurt his points, too, because we were talking about tonight. So we could throw up the point standings really quick again for anybody that may have missed it here before we get going green again. But Cody Bullock coming into the night with 1 win, sitting in 3rd place. Again, that top 3, Ryan Moyer, Jacob Hutnick, Cody Bullock did not move coming into the night. Another person that didn't move at all was James Fox. One of your biggest movers was Aiden Wilson, dropping down a few spots. I believe he was in 4th possibly and dropped down to 9th. After last week, Kenneth McCullough Jr. down a little bit. Jamie Horn moving up after that 2nd place finish last week, but a good run here tonight, even especially a win, would definitely help Jamie Horn's case.
100%. And I told, I know you had to step away for a second there, but I told Cody while we were up here talking to him, I was like, not trying to, gas you up too hard. Speaking of gas, we're about to get going green here, so let's take care of that first.
Yeah, I'll put you down for a segue.
Thank you. Ryan Moyer taking the green flag here, off to an excellent restart. Back to double file restarts. Ryan Moyer, Jake Euler, George Jewell, Kenneth McCullough Jr., Craig Bontrager. Back to the green flag, and we are 3 wide already.
Good.
Right there at the beginning.
Craig wants it all. Get it, Craig.
Craig got off to a really good restart there as well.
We saw Kenneth McCullough Jr. in the back earlier, kind of hanging back, and now back up here at the front. We know what kind of speed he has. I think he might be able to pull something out and drive up to the front. George Jewell falling back just a little bit here as well. Somebody's into the wall. Garrett Fox trying to take it 3 wide.
And looks like he might do it right there. Oh, look, that was a little shaky right there.
That's Aiden Wilson in that 60 car popping the wall just a little bit, just a smooch off the concrete.
Got the 33 of Tyler Justice, 77 of Jacob Hutnick right there, all battling it out. Right there in that 6, 7, 8 position. Got Rusty Rafferty in the comments saying, hell yeah, George.
I feel like that should be a t-shirt.
Rusty, if you haven't made that a t-shirt yet, you should.
Look at Craig Bontrager making his way up to the front, trying to fight out Jake Euler, doing a great job tonight, both of these guys. Kenneth McCullough right behind him, trying to figure out which lane he's going to take. The good part about Charlotte is you can pick high side, you can pick low side, doesn't really matter. As long as you can hold it there.
One of the things to consider, though, it's awesome to see the racing, but you don't want to burn them off too quickly. These guys are getting it up at the front.
Craig's going to take the lead. He might lead a lap here, pick up some points. For a lap led Craig Bontrager. Look at the RER guys tonight.
Shasta Jewell saying, go, Craig, go.
You know they're thinking it's about time, right? Every single one of them. About time. I think
that man has been due.
3 of the 4 RER guys have picked up a lap led tonight. Between George Jewell and Dylan Canova. Go ahead.
Kenneth McCullough making a move to the inside, though. Oh, big tag off the wall by the 59 of Ryan Moyer.
And look who's also moving up here in P3 spot right here, trying to get a lap himself. I'm kind of rooting for Tyler Justice to take a lap lead now so all 4 RER guys can lead a lap. That would be cool.
Yeah, Bontrager falling back here a little bit. He's going to go into 4th. And these guys are absolutely burning it up at the front of the track. Oh, that's going to be unfortunate.
George
Jewell down at the bottom of the track.
He's through the grass.
John Deere.
Oh, man, we need to get the license to that so we can play it. John Deere Green.
Rest in peace to Joe Diffie. And unfortunately, there, as much as we were talking about him there, the way I saw it there, and we'll check the replay to make sure I'm not just being dumb, which is a very likely possibility, but it looked like Bontrager might have gotten a little bit loose, like he maybe wasn't quite comfortable up there on that high side, and when he wiggled down, that's what caused the big checkup.
Yeah, I don't know if Jewell is trying to let his teammate back in line. Or maybe he was already making his exit. And then when you get into the gas here, it's kind of hard to let off. Gets a little tight. Aiden Wilson gets in the pack of George Jewell. That is Chris McCullough in the 04 car. Takes a small hit. Simon Grills. Good checkup there by Austin Norris. Sorry, almost blanked on his name trying to get it right. First race with the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series tonight. Something we really try to make sure we do is learn these cars and learn these drivers. Nothing that drives me more crazy than watching a broadcast and the announcers cannot remember the drivers' names.
It just looks like a little bit of a tough situation right there. I think Craig lost a lot of speed right there, and I think maybe everyone was trying to kind of dodge it, work their way around it, and I think it's just some unfortunate timing there. But 19 people still out there in the stream, so thank you for staying here and sticking with us. We appreciate it, and the drivers appreciate it. And again, huge shout out to our sponsor for the series and this race, Sunbelt Rentals, keeping these guys out here on the track. They're racing for something. I know they appreciate it. We appreciate being able to be up here in the booth, and we appreciate the guys in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series for coming out here and giving us a chance to be in the booth for them. It's something we look forward to every single week. One of the things I was trying to say a little bit earlier on was I told Cody earlier on when we were talking to him, and again, it's just super cool to be able to get the perspective of the guys that are been out there on the track, especially a guy that's very involved with the run of the league. But I told him that we gave him a compliment up here in the booth of, you know, you have 5 cautions, 6 cautions in your first stage, and you don't want to do it. It doesn't make for as good of a show, but you throw the single file out there. And I told him the joke we made about, you know, it's like your dad coming in there and barking at you and letting you know, hey, time to clean it up. I was like, at the risk of sounding like we were gassing him up a little too much, I think that was a really smart decision, and we've seen that being able to pay off and being able to put a lot more green flag laps down. Tyler Williams in the chat. Come on, number 23. Let's go, Trush.
I was on mute for a second. About to say the exact same thing.
Brandon Trush out there, that 23 machine. John, I know you're partial to the 23 as well. Found his way up there in 5th, up from 16th, but Kenneth McCullough Jr. going to be taking the green flag here in first place. Tyler Justice in 2nd, Jake Euler 3rd, Garrett Fox 4, and Brandon Trush in 5th. Just to update on the folks toward the back of the pack, got Frank Marchese in 18th, 3 laps down. Greg McConey 9 laps down in 19th. James Muriel, I believe, has called it a night, as has Craig Knoll. Cody Bullock is 73 laps down in 22nd, but is still here sitting on pit road observing, and we appreciate him for doing so. Pace car is off. Lap 114 at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. Kenneth McCullough Jr. lap led. Great restart by him.
Yeah, he's been kind of putting it down here past few laps.
These guys behind him are not letting up at all. Garrett Fox right back into the throttle, right on the bumper of Jake Euler, letting him know he's there. They're about to both make their way around Tyler Justice. Saw it go 3 wide toward the back of the pack there for a second. It looks like Jay Vaught in the number 10 machine lost a little bit of speed there. He found himself caught up on the high side.
Tyler Justice, Garrett Fox. Aiden Wilson, looks like Greg McConey. Austin Norris. Something tells me that Garrett Fox was not too happy about that.
I definitely need to go back and take a look at it. I was looking more toward the back of the pack. I saw Jamie Horn just barely work his way through that thing.
Let's see if we can rewind it here.
I think that one might be the end of the night for a lot of folks.
Yeah, I want to rewind it because I think it started more back in here. Wow. Greg McConey gets into it. Looks like only about 3 cars kind of took damage from that, but yeah, this started back here near the end of turn 2. Like Garrett Fox comes up just a little bit and gets Tyler Justice a little loose there. Justice hits the wall and comes straight back down. Let's see if we can hop on board with Tyler Justice.
I believe after that caution, Tyler Justice has called it a night, as has Greg McConey.
I think Garrett Fox might have to do the same thing if he does not have a fast repair. We're looking at Garrett Fox over here on pit road. He is torn up. If he does have a fast repair, he will have to wait out that 2-minute penalty for towing. If he did tow. I believe he did tow, actually. Pulling up the track map. Pace car is coming around, so he will probably lose a lap here.
Who was it that was kind of tagging each other there at the end?
That was Garrett Fox and Tyler Justice. Well, Garrett Fox kind of came up into Tyler Justice there.
Also have Simon Grills on pit road getting damage repaired. Still down on pit road there. James Fox still getting damage repaired, as is Tyler Justice and Garrett Fox.
Yeah, looks like Garrett Fox is going to lap down.
Serving as the resident anger translator here. Simon Grills in the comments of the actual race itself. Simon Grills to the number 13, still on pit road getting damage repaired. Not happy with how that went down. And neither is Rusty Rafferty in the comments. We're not going to be the ones to call out anybody. There is a car he is unhappy with.
Yeah, we try to keep it as objective on stream. Just what I see happen is how I will call it. Try to keep my opinions on drivers to myself. As some of you have followed along this season, there has definitely been a lot of opinions that have been formulated against certain people and certain things about who thinks did what, but it's all for fun, all racing. Sometimes it's not fun.
And we are back to racing. Kenneth McCullough Jr. taking your green flag here. Low line got a much better jump there. Going to allow the 77 of Jacob Hutnick to get all the way around, work his way fully up into second place. Jake Euler, not a great restart there on the high side, but able to fall back into third. I believe he's apologizing for that over the radio right now. And again, everyone that's in the comments. Sorry, what?
Who's apologizing?
Euler.
Okay. For a slow start?
Yep.
Okay. I got you. Aiden Wilson just trying to make a jump up here. Go ahead, I cut you off.
Nope, you're good. I was going to say, just everyone that's in the comments or on the racetrack, you should feel justified in your emotions. You're allowed to have them. It's racing, it's competitive, but it's not our job up here in the booth to be calling out people by name and before we've even really had a chance to look at it and really digest for ourselves what we saw happen. But you're able to see what you see in the replays, and we don't want to be the ones that are out here calling shots when we haven't even fully digested it ourselves. We get a 20-second look at it, and you can make a snap decision, or you can just kind of move on to the next of 200 things that have to be done in the broadcasting of a race.
Yeah, it's kind of like I always tell every time we start a season with a team or not a team, a league or anything like that. I always let them know that the drivers are the ones that are creating the stories and we're just narrating it. We're not making the story ourselves, so that's what we try to avoid.
Speaking of stories to keep an eye on, the
Jeez.
77 of Jacob Hutnick just got into the
Oh
wall
my
hard and has moved back a couple of spots, as did the 59 of Ryan Moyer, and taking advantage of that has been Jamie Horn. Now moved his way up into the 6th position.
I gave you a point for that. You got me 2-1 right now. It's a good segue. I love a good segue. Aiden Wilson looking low, looking high, trying to find some way to get around Canova here. Canova's back up at the front, running P3 right now. Back up 18 spots. Wilson's having a time trying to get around him.
He is. The 34 of Canova able to hold himself up there very well right now. I was going to say, though, sometimes the sassy comments are pretty fantastic.
Oh, trust me, I love it. I love it. I'm just saying we're not going to make the comments, but I love to see the chat go off. That's what we're here for, man. Like, these guys are making a great story. It's really easy for us to talk about it.
100%.
Kenneth is just taking off up there at the front. It got to make you wonder if he's kind of burning it up a little bit, but I do know that high size Canova showed us earlier will kind of eat those tires up. And Jake Euler seems to be really happy running up there, but maybe some adjustments coming soon.
Especially as we get more into the green flag runs. I know when we were talking to Cody about it earlier, it seems like things had calmed down a little bit after they sent it back into a single file restart. I think Cody might have whipped him into shape a little bit, and we're having a lot longer green flag runs. So Kenneth pulling away right now, and credit to him. He has had a rocket ship all night. He has dealt with some adversity, and he's doing very, very well right now. But you got to wonder if we stay green long, how that is going to do. Someone else I'm kind of looking at, surprisingly, in that same sentence, is Jamie Horn. Jamie Horn just worked his way up into the 4th position and is moving up very, very quickly. I know we talked about him earlier in reference to someone who saves tires very, very well. It looks like he's a man on a mission right now on lap 128.
And George Jewell behind him taking a strategy I always take, so I respect it a lot. I see what Jamie Horn's doing, and I do the same thing. And he's doing that and pushing his way up as well, involved in the incident earlier. Now moving his way back to the front. He was your Stage 2 winner, so he's going to pick up some good points here tonight.
And here we're now starting to see a little bit more of that, like, kind of late race Charlotte separation, like before the end of the race when people are still kind of figuring out where their place is, who they can work with, things like that. A lot more split up than it has been for most of this race. A lot of this race, we've seen a lot of 2 and 3 wide racing. Now we're just seeing everything kind of separate back out, a lot more single file, everyone kind of figuring out where they want to be.
And our track temp is stayed at a steady 74 degrees tonight, so pretty cool track. It's probably really good racing. It's probably really fun racing out there right now at Charlotte. I mean, it's a good track to be at, especially when it's cold like this on the track. But for everybody at home watching, I am switching the tower. Oh, we do have a caution out.
It's the 36 of George Jewell.
Trying to see if I can see any damage on that car.
George.
Go ahead.
I'm anger translating again, and I think tempers are starting to run a little high here tonight. Like you said, it's Charlotte, it's cool, so it's prime for aggressive racing because your car is just sticking to the track. I know Aiden Wilson was involved in that one, as was George Jewell. George Jewell very unhappy with Aiden Wilson.
Not
But
the
we
same
will go back
one.
and take a look and see what happened.
Yeah, Aiden came up just a little high on him. Not a lot of damage for George there. Let's try to go back one more time because I do want to rewind this before all of this started. Way back here, we saw George and Aiden Wilson having some really good racing. And this is the incident kind of that I was trying to get at here.
Oh.
These two hitting the wall just about 2 laps before that caution came out, hitting each other. Aiden Wilson hits the wall a little bit, comes back down, gets a little bit into George Jewell. So I don't know if this precipitated up to the accident that happened about 2 laps later. So I'll fast forward it here to get back around. Or maybe just some hard racing incident, bouncing off the wall. You see George kind of give him a little door slam there. And Aiden Wilson just comes up a little too far. Looks like he tried to keep him straight. But I can see where George would not be happy about that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I was trying to get to right before that caution for anybody at home, the tower on the left-hand side of your screen will be staying at 20 drivers. Finishing 21st for the night is going to be Craig and Noel and Cody Bullock in 22nd. Both of those drivers are out and just off the leaderboard, but this way so the board will not flash as much and you can keep track of your favorite drivers as we go on for the rest of the night. But we do have a new race leader. Take a guess. Jamie Horn.
It's Jamie Horn.
And take a guess who's in third place.
Brandon Trush.
And I say that because we bring him up almost every race. Like, he kind of just flies under the radar and then just makes his way to the front, you know?
And good to see Dylan Canova back up there in second place as well. I know he's dealt with a lot of adversity here tonight. And he is back up there in second, been involved in a couple of cautions. Had that issue we talked about that in the first stage where lost a lot of spots after leading for 3 restarts. Lost a lot of spots because his tires kind of went out on him. And we were like, but now he has a lot more knowledge of what his car can and can't do. Now finds himself back up in second. Brandon Trush going to be in third. Jay Vaught going to be in fourth. And George Jewell in fifth.
Yeah, and I don't hate that strategy, man. It's like running it hard near the first little stint and just seeing what the car can do. As long as you're not going a lap down and wrecking everybody at the same time. But just kind of seeing what the car is able to do there and then learning from it, checking to see how other drivers are going to drive this track and size everybody up and then make a good run here at the finish. So Dylan Canova's making an exciting run here. And I know that RER team is looking for that win tonight.
The pace car is off. We are about to get back to green flag racing. Let's see how they restart. Jamie Horn gets off to a good start, but Canova also did a really good job of sticking with him.
There you go. What a run by Canova.
That's the best I've seen someone keep up with a restart tonight, period.
And it's hard.
Couple other people to keep an eye on as well as you do have the 35 of Craig Bontrager back in 11th. He's trying to work his way up and be able to work with his teammate George Jewell in 7th.
Little bump by Austin Norris there.
You had the McCulloughs that were restarting 11th and 10th there. Christopher McCullough got off to the better restart there. He finds himself up in 6th, moving forward very quickly.
Chris McCullough making another move on Jay Vault here and now looking underneath Brandon Trush, trying to take that spot away as well.
Man on a mission. Jake Euler still trying to stay in there and fight for that position. Jamie Horn able to break away a little bit here from Dylan Canova and get 0.3 of a second of a lead.
Yeah, I'm going to try to pull up the pit stop times or pit stop laps here for the top 10 drivers just so you can kind of see where we're at. So McCullough, Euler on fresh tires. Looks like Hutnick, McCullough, or Kenneth McCullough and Aiden Wilson Also on fresh tires, George Jewell probably didn't take tires that time when he came in. Probably on 102 lap tires. Maybe the same thing for McCullough and Canova if they did not take 4.
Yellow flag is out, and we are spinning all over the place. Kenneth McCullough was around there. George Jewell went around. Let's see what happened there. Steve Goes Racing in the comments saying Jamie Horn. Jamie's been having a great run here tonight. Looks like George Jewell has called himself out of the race. Let's see what caused that last caution.
Yeah, it looks like George Jewell came down maybe just a little bit coming through that oval. Gets into Jacob Hutnick as well. Try to go back one more time with a better view here. I would like to get right behind them if we can. Oh no, George was holding his line there. And it looks like Kenneth McCullough came up just a little bit. Rewind it back so we can kind of get a full story. And this is such a tricky little part to come around to, man, because, again, you don't know who's high and who's low. George doing a good job of squeezing him, making a little bit of pressure there, and he does hold his line. It's like Kenneth McCullough came up just a little bit, didn't know he was there. Probably didn't know it was 3 wide, honestly. Thinking that George would give him some more space, but George can't go up being 3 wide.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like you can kind of see this from both sides. If you're Kenneth McCullough, you're thinking he needs to give me some more space. George in that position, not required to give him any space, but then when Kenneth continues to come up, that's what puts it around. That's going to put McCullough in the wall hard. That's going to put George Jewell in the wall hard.
Looks like Jamie Horn is pitting here too.
He did.
Jacob Hutton taking damage. Brandon Trush on pit road.
That's going to be a lot of trouble for a lot of people, I would say. It's like Jacob Hutnick still on pit road. Garrett Fox able to get off of pit road. Jay Vaught still down on pit road with damage. Kenneth McCullough still on pit road with damage. Same for George Jewell. Frank Marchese back out on the track, 2 laps down in 15th. Simon Grills still down on pit road, as is James Fox, Tyler Justice. And then you're getting into some people who have called it a night. I believe Tyler Justice, Craig McConey, James Muriel, Craig Knoll, and Cody Bullock have all called it a night at this point. Only going to have 12 cars on the lead lap after this restart. Actually, it might only be 11 now that Jay is a lap down getting some damage repaired. I believe Jacob Hutnick is going to be your last car on the lead lap. He might have had a fast repair still left in his pocket because it's looking like he's back out on the track, and I don't see any damage immediately.
He's got some to that back left quarter panel, which he hit the wall pretty hard there, and a fast repair should repair the entire vehicle, but I'm not too sure.
But we are on lap 140 of 200. Definitely been a very exciting race tonight. A lot of cautions. I would say it's a little out of the ordinary for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. Normally these guys are racing very, very, very clean. Not a lot of cautions, but everyone's been out here like you were kind of talking about earlier. It's a cool track. It is prime for racing. And so these guys get excited. You think your car can do anything, and you know, away they go. But we are still going to have 11 cars on the lead lap here as we get ready to come back to this green flag. 23 people out there in the stream. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We appreciate it. Be sure to give your guys a shout out as we come to the green flag. Dylan Canova taking this green flag. Christopher McCullough right beside him. Jake Euler, Craig Bontrager, and Ryan Moyer making up your top 3.
Yeah, it's kind of weird on that restart. The 57 there of Austin Norris is about 3 or 4 car lengths back before the restart started. So I know some people that might not be too happy with that.
Trying to get stacked back up. Jamie Horn looking like he's got a fast ride, trying to get that thing moved forward. He's going to be battling with Aiden Wilson. They stack back up 2 wide in front of him. Brandon Trush looking to move his way forward. He's got Garrett Fox right behind him.
I feel like Garrett Fox is about to just put the burners on here in a second.
He very well may be. He's worked his way back up from a couple little incidents tonight and been able to work his way back forward every single time.
Wow.
That was close. We're 3 wide.
Moyer squeezes right back in there. Good racing.
Canova gets pushed up all the way to the top. Great job by everybody keeping it straight right there. That was a little sketchy. Horn goes to the bottom, trying to work his way around Austin Norris.
He's going to get around Aiden Wilson too at the same time. Get a twofer.
That's almost going to be 3 wide.
He's going to get a threefer.
Canova here as well.
He's got a threefer. Jake Euler to the top of the track here. He's going to let Craig Bontrager through. Ryan Moyer looking low on Jake Euler. Jamie Horn's going to try to follow suit and going behind. He's going to check back up, get behind Euler for a second to get that good line, and then make his pass here.
And Bontrager up there at the front battling for the lead.
Oh,
He's going door to door with Christopher McCullough.
it's heating up.
Still 55 laps here to go. Plenty of time and action left. Bontrager going to work his way around. Looks like he's going to get the lead here. They stay racing hard door to door.
There's some good racing going on. Moyer trying to pick a lane. If I'm Jamie Horn, I'm taking the opposite. Yep, there he goes.
Jamie Horn goes to the inside. Been very fast on the inside lane here tonight. Now he's in a position where McCullough needs to get back down to worry about blocking.
Ooh, what a move by Jamie Horn there. Squeeze back in. Right in front of Aiden Wilson. Jake Euler's going to try to take advantage and look to the bottom of Aiden Wilson here.
One of the things I want to keep an eye on, though, is Horn's been running the low line so much here tonight. Now he's stuck up on the high side.
Aiden Wilson gives him some bumps.
Run that.
Just squeezes in front of Chris McCullough there. That's going to put him in P3.
Austin Norris looking like he's got a very fast car. He's starting to use that low line a little bit more as well. He's trying to work his way out around the 7 of Jake Euler.
He's going to be the last Trash Panda car left on the lead lap right now, as both Frank Marchese and Greg McConey with internet issues tonight. That's going to put them, one of them out. Frank is still on the track, 2 laps down right now. Praying for 2 more cautions. He might get it the way it's been going so far.
Yeah, he's the closest to it as well. Jay Vaught still on pit road, 10 laps down in 13th. He's definitely going to be the closest to being able to work his way back up through the Lucky Dog system. A lot of good drivers left out on the track. Dylan Canova has gotten shuffled back to 9th. Still tried to work his way back up. Garrett Fox up there in 8th. He's going to be trying to get around Jake Euler right now. But Jamie Horn has just been letting that low side eat here tonight. He's now trying to get around Ryan Moyer. Not going to be able to get it done that time by Aiden Wilson. Right back to the bumper of Jamie Horn. He's going to look to the high side.
Jamie Horn still trying to fight off Aiden Wilson here. I mean, that high side does have speed if you can hit it just right, but on older tires, it's going to lose a little bit of its stability.
And Aiden seems like he's really making that high side work for him right now as he's able to work back around Jamie Horn and immediately able to put some time on him.
Craig Bontrager putting in the work right now in front of Ryan Moyer. This is not an easy task to do, but Craig Bontrager doing it very well right now.
Bontrager fought his way through a lot of trouble here tonight to find himself back up in first. Doing a really good job there up front, fighting off a very fast car in Ryan Moyer. Now Aiden Wilson trying to work his way up there and get involved.
Jamie Horn's falling back just a little bit, and I can't help but think this is by design. He might be trying to save up just a little bit. I'm not sure if he will have to pit again before the end of the race. But if not, he is in a good spot to make a good drive forward if he can save up just a little bit. You don't want to let him get too far out, but you do want to try to save. Let those guys burn it off by racing each other.
Can we take a look at the last pits?
Pulling it up right now. And I can't tell exactly who took tires when, but as you can see on your screen here, the top 10, the last time they did go into the pits. Looking like around lap 32, lap 33 for a lot of these guys, such as Ryan Moyer, Aiden Wilson, just a little bit later. Jamie Horn, Austin Norris. Ooh, Aiden Wilson trying to get to the high side there. And if those guys did take tires, the one on oldest tires right now would be Garrett Fox, who pitted lap 16 last.
116, I assume you're saying.
Yes, 116. That is correct. If he pitted on lap 16 last, that is impressive.
Craig Bontrager starting to build himself out a little bit more of a lead. Aiden Wilson now works his way into second place. Ryan Moyer keeps looking to the low side, but not able to get the run that he's looking for. Jamie Horn falling back to fourth right now. I'm going to be very curious to see as this thing goes on lap 157 of 200, if that's by plan or if that's because he is trying to save or what the case may be.
Yeah,
Austin Norris.
Ooh, Aiden Wilson pops the wall for a second there. So I do have the deltas pulled up between Craig Bontrager and Aiden Wilson. And they're staying pretty consistent. Looks like Craig Bontrager's pulled out maybe a tenth more in the past 6 laps. Let's see if I can bump this back to Ryan Moyer here. Yeah, it looks like he's gaining more time on Ryan Moyer as well and going back to Jamie Horn. He's put almost half a tenth on Jamie Horn at this point. Half a tenth, half a second.
Either Jamie's saving or there's something else going on because he is definitely not moving as quickly as he has throughout this race. Christopher McCullough also working his way back up toward the front in 6th place.
Yeah, Brandon Trush is falling back.
Definitely. Got Garrett Fox, Jacob Hutnick kind of going back and forth there.
Jake Euler flashing out just a little on the high side. Garrett Fox is actually going to bring it in right now. And I believe that's Dylan Canova right behind him as well. They're trying to get to pit road first. I don't know if he was speeding or not.
That was really close for Canova. I mean, he came flying and he had to lock it up. Good for him if he was able to get it woed down.
Yeah, I wish I had that pit speed up when he did come in.
I believe they are going to go a lap down here. Bontrager's still putting down very, very strong laps. Been able to hold a very consistent half a second lead on Ryan Moyer. The question is, how long is he going to be able to continue to do it?
Let's turn on the pit lane ticker at the bottom so we can see when our drivers are going into pit road, as some of these guys are starting to make stops now. Garrett Fox coming back out on the track, but if Garrett Fox getting really loose trying to come back out.
Oh, and smacks the wall. An immediate tow. You got to think that's the end of his night.
Yeah. Looks like he was just trying to keep up pace with Canova. Hit a bump. Where did that come from? Let's hop in the cockpit with him here for a second.
Absolutely drilled that inside wall.
Wow. He got spun around twice. He gets it back straight. I do know this pit exit is pretty bumpy coming out of Charlotte. So you can kind of see that yellow line down there. Especially there.
I know I felt those bumps in my own seat there before, as I was trying to get the car to go into second.
Yeah, you can see this yellow line at the bottom kind of matches the contour of the bumps on this exit here. There's one bump right there as you come out. That's what got him. Yeah, some things that, like, one thing that I did not take into account when I did the Richard Petty driving experience is the G-forces in the car. And just how much your body is wanting to go right as you're turning left through those corners. And I don't understand how NASCAR drivers do it for 200, 300 laps at a time. More than that sometimes, but just... I mean, you're kind of like exhausted after 10 laps there. I mean, I was. I'm out of shape and everything like that. And I'm sure these guys do it all the time, but you're trying to go left as hard as you can. We're only running, what, 150 miles an hour? But it's just
have a crazy adrenaline dump.
Yeah, it's just throwing your body to the right against the seat there, and you just doing everything you can to keep it down while your spotter's screaming at you to keep it down, don't hit the wall. I felt like Ricky Bobby. How fast were those cars going? 26 miles an hour. That's probably how I was doing out there.
But that is going to reshuffle things after all of the pit roads. That is going to put Jamie Horn in the lead. Craig Bontrager in second. Ryan Moyer in third. Aiden Wilson in fourth. And Jacob Hutnick was in fifth. I think they're still trying to shuffle it out a little bit.
I'm showing Jacob in eighth right now. Or seventh, I'm sorry.
It's like George Jewell, Garrett Fox, and James Fox the second have all called it a night as well. Only have 9 cars on the lead lap currently. Dylan Canova being that last guy on the lead lap. Christopher McCullough out on the track 2 laps down, as is Frank Marchese. Garrett Fox has called himself out of the race. Jay Vaught still on pits, as is Kenneth McCullough Jr. George Jewell is out. Simon Grill still on pit road. James Fox out. Tyler Justice out. Greg McConey out. James Muriel out. And Craig Knoll and Cody Bullock.
And something you got to watch out here for, too, is Jamie Horn did not pit. And I'm assuming the other guys that did pit probably took tires during that stop.
So if you're Jamie, what I have to imagine, assuming you still have tires left, is that you're hoping for a caution here in about the next 15 laps.
Absolutely. If a caution comes out, that pretty much seals it. If he has tires and nobody else doesn't, pending anything else happening, which could always happen. But back to green flag racing.
Off to a great green flag start. Excellent job by Jamie Horn there, getting way out in front. But already see the 59 of Ryan Moyer pulling in, as is the 35 of Craig Bontrager. And I either have to assume that's a fresh tire deal or that's Jamie Horn giving up the positions on purpose, because Ryan Moore and Craig Bontrager there moved around like it was nothing.
Gotta be a fresh tire thing. Jamie's tires are about 30 laps old at this point.
Yeah, Jamie trying to go all the way up there to the top of the track, seeming like he's trying to let everybody else go around. Got a little bit loose there, touched the wall, almost came back down.
And a battle for position. Right here at the lead, Craig Bontrager takes the lead from Ryan Moyer. Brandon Trush back here, Jake Euler, Austin Norris, Jacob Hutnick. Got a good little battle going on behind them. Brandon Trush leading that pack, trying to get around Moyer now. Aiden Wilson's going to take second.
Yeah, Brandon Truss seeming like he's trying to keep his position. Jake Euler, he was looking down toward the bottom side there for a second, but now he finds himself in a fight with Austin Norris. And Jacob Hutnick in the 77 looked like he was trying to take it 3 wide. Does for a second, but then it splits back out. The 04 of Christopher McCullough falls back. And Jamie Horn all the way back to 9th, 2 laps after starting in first.
Praying for a caution. Gotta be. Problem is, it's limited cars now. They're starting to space out. I'm not sure if you're going to get it.
Currently only, I believe, $11 cars on the track at this point. And you got Chris McCullough out there, who is 2 laps down. Frank Marchese still out on the track, 2 laps down. I believe everyone behind that is either out or on pit road.
Yeah, Dylan Canova with a really good run there on the top side. Trying to make his way through, follow Jake Euler behind him.
He's shown himself to have a really fast car tonight. It's just going to be able, if he's able to work his way back up to the front.
Brandon Trush checking up hard there, and Jacob Hutnick getting right into the back of him. Jake Euler's going to give him a little push to get it forward.
27 to go here this time by.
Going back up here to Craig Bontrager, still out here leading this race, doing a fantastic job tonight.
Saying he's trying to fight off Aiden Wilson, who's still right there, only about almost 0.2 of a second back. And Ryan Moyer's also there with a very fast car.
Yeah, these are not easy guys to be putting time on either. I mean, Aiden Wilson every single week in and week out have been very fast. Ryan Moyer, we've seen what he can do. The only dual winner in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series right now. Brandon Trush trying to look at Ryan Moyer right now, though.
And everyone pretty much here in that front pack. Craig Bontrager out in the lead by almost half a second at this point. Ryan Moyer almost a second back. Everyone else kind of in that little pack there from 4th to 8th. And then Jamie Horn in trouble. About 6 seconds off the pace right now. With 24 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Now, if Craig took tires in that last stop, man, you got to feel really good right now. Because you know it's going to last you till the end, and you're still kind of pulling away. I mean, if I'm him, I'm probably driving 75, 80% right now, and then I have a number in my head. Maybe it's 10 laps to go, maybe it's 15 to go, but I'm just going to light it up at the very end and pull away.
Yeah, it's just that weird dance of making sure that you still save something in the tank, but then also be able to stay and maintain the lead. Well, Craig's dealt with a lot this season already. I know he's happy to get a lot of laps led under his belt here. Aiden Wilson's been so consistent, though. He's also looking for his first win. And Ryan Moyer, who's our points leader, been excellent all season long. Like you said, only 2-time winner in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series so far. Sitting there in third, still in a really good position.
Dylan Canova checking the high side here. Brandon Trush trying to make his way around. If he can stick it, he can get a good run out of here. This might be the turn that he takes it right here, but
Jacob Hutnick also working his way around the 57 machine of Austin Norris. Getting himself into the 7th position.
and Dylan Canova is going to take that spot from Brandon Trush, move up to 4th place. He's going to be eyeing Ryan Moyer here with 22 to go. Ryan Moyer falling back from Aiden Wilson a little bit. Aiden Wilson now right on the heels of Craig Bontrager.
I have to wonder if maybe Craig was burning a little too fast, or now he's maybe trying to set back up and save something in the tank for the end of the race.
You can also do the opposite strategy and kind of hold the driver back just a little bit, make them work trying to get around you and burn off some tire, and then again hit your number that you want in your head, that 15 laps, and take off knowing that the driver behind you is burning them up. Lots of strategies go into play here. A lot more than just left turns.
A lot more than just left turns. And if you're Jamie Horn here, I mean, you got kind of a couple things running through your head. It's like, A, you really want to caution you're 10.5 seconds off the pace, but also B, you're in a good spot in points, and this is a top 10. So, and you made it through a very heavy caution race, still got a top 10. Lots of other people are going to be finishing laps down. Still a good points night for you.
Yeah, if I'm Jamie Horn, the thing going through my head is looking in the floorboard for loose screws or nails that I can throw out the window for these drivers to spin on. Or like Mario Kart with the bananas. Anything to get a caution. Checking the comments here. Tyler Williams says 20 left. Finish strong, 23. Brandon Trush trying to make that move to take the spot back from Dylan Canova. And that's Christopher McCullough in the 04 car getting around Jake Euler. That pass is not for position as McCullough is now 2 laps down. Also still out here on the track, Frank Marchese. Frank the Tank is also 2 laps down, but still putting it down. Sitting in 11th place right now. Jake's going to kind of use Chris right here to get around Canova as well. He can just follow Brandon Trush. Close that door on him. I mean, this is a fight right here at the front, though, between Bontrager and Wilson. 2 guys that really want this win tonight. I mean, you want it every night, but it's like these guys have been due for a while.
Yeah, you gotta. So funny how after such a heavy caution race. You got two guys at the front who have raced well all season, frankly. Raced very smart, done their part, and now they find themselves up at the front battling for it. So happy for both of them, first of all, but you also have, like you said, the comments. You got people saying, let's go 23, rooting for Brandon Trush. Brandon Trush also been doing really well this season. And then TJ saying, let's go Craig. 14 to go. How much is Craig Bontrager going to have in the tank to fight off the rest of this crowd here?
Man, pulling up the deltas here, it looks like both Wilson and Bontrager have still pulled away from Dylan Moyer. Or not Dylan, Ryan Moyer. Going back here to Ryan Moyer. Jake Euler just making that pass around Canova right now as soon as I pull him up, trying to get around him.
Did Jamie Horn bring it down pit road?
He might have. Yeah, he's a lap down, so he definitely did bring it down pit road.
So barring a caution, that is pretty much going to bring this race down to 8 people. Austin Norris, great run for him, though. Still in his first race in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. Worked his way up from 19th to 8th. Finds himself a little bit off of the pace right now, but still top 10 in your first race in a competitive series is absolutely nothing to feel badly about.
Yeah.
Great run by him.
Dylan Canova, I don't know if you got in the wall there, falls back a little bit. Trush is going to get around. Hutnick's going to get around. Hutnick's going to be eyeing Jake Euler here. He's had a great run all night long.
Looked like a little bit of a touch of the wall there from Trush.
Let's see if we can hop on board here with Jacob Hutnick. And see how he's handling this car around these turns. Electing to take the high side here through 3 and 4. Using that seam there in the middle to help his car rotate. Didn't rotate enough and just kisses the wall just a little bit. He's going to lose some time on Euler.
He is, but Brandon Trush going to look to the inside of the 77 of Jacob Hutnick. Looked like he had the run, but coming into the straightaway, Hutnick improves a lot and looking like he might be able to stay in that position. Craig Bontrager still leading this thing. Lead has diminished just a little bit down to 0.3 of a second, and Ryan Moyer also starting to gain time at this point. Ryan Moyer down to only 0.6.
Yeah, Ryan's going to make a pass on Aiden Wilson here. 10 laps is a long time, man.
10 laps is a long time. And it is, we have talked about it before, it is lonely up there at the top. Craig Bontrager employing a longer pit strategy than some of the other guys. Led a lot of laps here tonight. Is he going to be able to hold off a hard-charging Ryan Moyer?
Jeez. Pulling up the deltas here, and you can see just how much that Ryan Moyer has brought it in over the past 6 laps. We're talking about 0.7 of a second. So averaging about 1/10 of a second. He sits 2.8, about 0.3 back now. Which definitely would give him the run if it continues this way.
Yeah, that's 0.3 gained in the last lap. And the only thing you have to consider is how hard has Craig Bontrager been pushing it. You know, he's worked himself out to a pretty good lead. He's done a really good job maintaining it safely. Moyer's been pushing it hard. Is Moyer still going to have enough in the tank to get up there and fight with Craig Bontrager? It's certainly looking like it right now, but does Craig Bontrager still have anything in the tank to fight him back with? And they are almost bumper to bumper. Looks like Moyer might have gotten a little bit loose there, but he saves it really well. 5 to go.
I would love
These
to
two
hear
have just
the
put a gap on everyone right now.
yeah, I would love to hear the spotter talk between Craig and spotter Nathan Fox up there in the booth.
I mean, this is going to be a tall order for Craig. Let's just be honest. You've got a car that is very hard charging in Ryan Moyer. You have to assume at this point that Craig is going to be on older, if not older, then worse tires than Ryan Moyer. At least the way that Ryan Moyer's been continuing to run. But do you still have enough in the tank to fight him off?
Well, he's got 4 to go. Hopefully he can hold him off here. He's hoping so. Fingers crossed. Checking his lucky stars. Kissing 222 on the clock. Every superstition that you can think of. But
he's got his friends out looking for 4-leaf clovers. I know he's got a fan club out here, both for his friends and loved ones. And for his race team out there.
the big thing is, man, you can't drive out your mirror right now. You got to hold your line, stick to it. You got a good spotter telling you what's going on. But you don't want to find yourself looking out your mirror more than you're looking out your windshield. You're only going to go slower that way.
But I am very curious to know, because as we know, Craig has very often had a spotter out there. I know he has a race team out here behind him as well. Does Ryan Moyer have anyone that's maybe telling him what to do or different shots to take? Ryan Moyer goes all the way up to the wall here. 1 lap to go. They have left everybody else in the dust. At this point, it is Craig Bontrager and Ryan Moyer. Aiden Wilson running very comfortably in third.
2 to go, 2 to go. Coming to the white flag right here as we come across. He's going to have to do some work to hold him off. I'm expecting Ryan Moyer to try to cross him up here the way he's starting high. Maybe going to try to dime it out.
Ryan Moyer starting on the high line. Craig Bontrager on the low side.
Oh, there's the
Throws
cross.
a great block there. Throws a great block. Great job by Craig to fight it off.
Craig's got to hold it down this last turn coming around here. If he pulls this off, what a feat.
Keep it not too tight.
What a feat. He's going to do it.
He gets it done.
What a run, man. That is not easy to hold somebody. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Ryan Moyer or your great-grandma. Anybody driving behind you like that and charging that hard, man, that is hard to do, to hold off for that long. Knowing how fast that guy's caught up to you, knowing that you got to throw the block, seeing that he's going up high and that he's probably going to cross you over. You don't want him to sideswipe you, but good on Craig Bontrager for doing that.
Jacob Linky, hell yeah. Rusty Rafferty, yes. Craig. That was a beautiful job by Craig Bontrager. And honestly, credit to both Craig and Ryan there. Incredibly clean racing. And a great job by Craig to fight off a very hard-charging Ryan Moyer. He's been so good all season and this race. Jacob Linky, LFG Bontrager. Bontrager, after suffering so much bad luck early in the season, burn it down, son.
Yeah, he deserved that.
Beautiful job by him tonight, getting that win. Raced very consistent all night long. Dealt with some of the trouble that we had here at Charlotte tonight. Which, again, I just want to emphasize, I feel like this was very uncharacteristic of what we normally see in the Sunbelt Series. I think it was just a very cold track, and everyone was just trying to race their hearts out, which to a point I respect. And it just got a little hectic earlier on, caused some trouble for the end of the race, but well done to Craig Bontrager for fighting his way through it, and well done to him and Ryan Moyer for racing so clean through this whole thing. Aiden Wilson all night long been up right near the top and done a great job.
Yeah,
Nathan
man.
Fox, woo. Tyler Williams, good race, boys. Craig finally gets his win.
You can't help but be a little bit excited, man. It's like we talked about earlier that these guys are building the storyline and we're just narrating it. And as that, we become fans ourselves of the story of how it's going. And Craig's a guy that started out at the beginning of the season with a lot of bad lucks, one of our unlucky dogs, like 2 or 3 races in a row. I know I've talked to it with some of the admins in this league too about how much bad luck Craig seems to find. So can't help but be happy for a guy to win it like that. Holding off Ryan Moyer there at the very end, which again, not easy to hold off anybody the way he was holding him off, especially seeing the move coming around the corner, knowing that you really got to hit it. If you don't hit it, you're done. But
yeah, and a very skilled driver like Ryan Moyer. I mean, Ryan Moyer is very, very good. It is what it is. He has won 2 races this season, did an amazing dominant finish at Sonoma last week. And you could see that he knew exactly what his plan was right there and was trying to execute. And Bontrager did a good job of blocking him off. And good job to those guys for being persistent. Everyone in this top 8 right here, even the top 9. I know Jamie Horn went a lap down there late on lap 9. But good job on everyone for being persistent and keeping your head up. It was a tough race tonight. It really, really was. And I don't want to overlook that. But everyone did their best and tried to stay competitive. And I know we're going to bounce back and do a lot better next week as far as keeping a lot more cars out there on the track. But that is nothing to take away from Craig Bontrager getting his first win in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. And very, very well deserved.
well, I do have Aiden Wilson sitting here in the waiting room, so I'm going to bring him up. Aiden, you got a copy with us?
Yep, gotcha.
Hey, man, congratulations on 3rd place tonight. At times, it seemed like you kind of had a rocket ship going out there. Tell me about the tire wear coming into that last probably 20-lap stint and how that was affecting your car.
Yeah, I couldn't run the bottom, which is where I would have preferred to run. The aero is terrible. Like the aero blocking is just terrible. You can't get in anybody's draft when you're within 5 car lengths, or you just push up the track. But yeah, I cooked my stuff up running that top side, trying to get around him, trying to get some clean air. But yeah, it sucks. Ryan had good tires. He was saving, and he just blew right on by me. So I let him. Sucks he couldn't get the win. That would have been a win for Mid-Pack Motorsports. But yeah, 2nd and 3rd is all right.
Absolutely. Both of you guys been very fast all season. I know you've had some bad luck here in the past 2 weeks, I believe. I know maybe not last week, the week before last, but good bounce back win tonight. It's going to definitely help you into the point, not win, but 3rd place. It's going to help you in the points a lot. I also want to mention the track temp tonight. It was about 74 degrees, a little bit cooler, I think, for most of Charlotte is familiar with. But how was that affecting your car going through there? Did you feel like it was more grip tonight?
Yeah, more grip. It was tighter than I thought. Yeah, it was all right. My car felt pretty good. But yeah, my tires are wearing pretty quick. I don't know if I was just pushing too hard or what, but yeah, it was definitely cooler out there. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of grip. I broke loose a couple times, but I think that was just me being an idiot and pushing when I shouldn't have been pushing hard.
Yeah, we're going to Dover next week. A little bit different of a track, more of a bowl here. But how do you feel about Dover?
I'm not great at Dover, but I'm not great here either, and I finished 3rd. So maybe if I keep doubting myself, maybe I can keep getting these good results. But yeah, Dover is definitely a different kind of beast compared to Charlotte. So I'm looking forward to it, though. Dover puts on some good race, and hopefully we can put on a good race for you guys up here.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
No, but shout out to that Chili's car. It was bad fast, so maybe we gotta keep on riding the Dente the next couple weeks and just keep bringing that Chili's car to the track.
Absolutely. I love the Chili's car. I love the Marlboro helmet you got going there too. We have it up on our screen in the broadcast. So, but good race tonight. 3rd place, nothing to be upset about. Definitely going to be a good points night for you and your teammate there. So we're looking forward to see you at Dover next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
You too.
Aiden felt God in this Chili's.
I accidentally threw Aiden into the Rogue Energy Racing Discord chat for a second. So,
Oops.
oopsies. Hopefully they weren't sharing top secret plans or anything, or how to cook their cheeseburger, however, whatever you talk about and don't want anybody else to know, but Mama's secret chili recipe. But that's going to be Aiden Wilson, your third place finisher tonight. Moving on to your second place finisher in Ryan Moyer, who we become very familiar with up here in the booth for the past 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, win twice? Or no, win and close to a win. But here's Ryan Moyer joining us right now. Ryan, you got a copy with us?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Welcome back to the booth. We're just saying how we become pretty familiar with seeing your name up here. I got 2 wins this season, looking for your third one tonight. But unfortunately tonight, Craig Bontrager able to hold you off. It looked like you were saving some tires there at the end. What was your thoughts with about 10 to go there?
Well, I was out of tire changes, so I was trying to take it easy in case we got a yellow. And then about 15 to go, I'm like, all right, well, I guess I got to push. But once I got to him, the arrow in this car, you could tell I had better tires than him, but like every time I got to his bumper, it was like a balloon. It just pulled me right back. So, but he did everything right. He didn't make a mistake, so I couldn't really get around him.
Yeah, you were definitely fast. I think we pulled up the deltas with about 5 or 4 to go. And it looked like you had made up almost a second on him with just 5 to 6 laps. So, I mean, definitely a rocket ship out there. Did you seem to like the high side more tonight or the low side?
I think the low side was better for me at least. But if you had to pass somebody, you probably wanted to get to their right rear, and which is what I was trying to do in the last 2 laps there. But like I said, every time I got to him, it kind of ballooned me back. But no, definitely the bottom for me.
Yeah, I know if you guys were hoping for a caution there at the very end, would you have been excited to see a caution with about 3 to go or upset about it?
No, because my teammate still had a set left. I'm pretty sure Jamie was sandbagging for a set left. If a yellow came out, it's probably not gonna be good for me at least.
Absolutely. We're going to Dover next week. What's your thoughts on Dover?
Ooh, see how many times I can hit the wall, I guess.
Yeah, I guess pushing out a 4 there, it seems like that wall just kind of comes about 3 foot closer every lap, it seems like. But not a fun track for me either, but I definitely understand. It's a fun one to race, but I just can't seem to get that turn 4 down. But before I let you go, anybody you want to shout out or any sponsors?
No, just my team. We did pretty good tonight too. Second, third, and fourth, which is probably our best running ever in any league that we've been in. So that's about it.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate it. Good job tonight, finishing second place here, and we look forward to seeing you at Dover.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Too.
That's going to be Ryan Moyer, your second place finisher for tonight. And then coming up next in the booth, we do have Craig Bontrager. As I can pull him up here. Craig, you got a copy in the booth with us?
Sure do.
Welcome back, man. It's been quite a while. I think last time we had you up here is because you were the unlucky dog, and tonight turned it around and, I mean, showed out. You were leading a lot of laps out there. Tell us about your strategy coming into this race and just how you were able to maintain such a lead for so long.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of all just played out where I had the opportunity. Had a lot of damage, three incidents, 6 minutes total of repairs that done on pit road, trying to save that fast repair. And let's see, the last one of the cautions with like 70 to go, I still had 40 some seconds of damage left. So I was like, we're pitting, we're taking tires, and that allowed us to, drive up and put ourselves in that position. And then literally just a perfectly timed caution with 30 some laps to go with my last set of tires sitting on the ground. And a lot of fast cars are done for the night, right? That's definitely part of the equation for winning. And was able to just hold on. I was trying to save as much tire. I knew Ryan was saving for sure because I drove by him so fast early. And then here we go. 8 laps to go. He's charging, and man, I had a handful trying to stay ahead of him. I don't think I saved near as good as he did, obviously, but it was a ton of fun to race like that last lap, straightaway to try to fight him off. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you say that part of the strategy is letting a lot of good cars wreck, but I'm looking at your averages here, and you were averaging probably the fastest lap time throughout the whole race, for the most part.
And I'm kind of surprised by that. I watched George Jewell run that second stage, super strong, and I was like, man, I just got to woe her down, and I just kind of committed to running the paint. And yeah, over a long run, I didn't have that much drop off. I just didn't know if it was going to be enough. And it turns out it was.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to get to. I think 3 of the 4 RER guys tonight led a lap, so they're going to pick up points for that. I think the only one that didn't was Tyler Justice, but he wasn't second. He might have led a lap because he started second at one point, but I don't know if he was able to actually get his nose out in front. Did you guys have some good practice sessions coming in or good chalk talk before you started this race?
Oh, I think we just love this place. Any of the RER guys could have won tonight for sure. Everybody ran into trouble. I think I ran into the least trouble, right? And it just a good racetrack for us for sure. We like these 1.5 miles, and everybody was on point and putting down good speed. It just definitely played out in my favor.
Yes, sir. All you guys were just rocket ships. I mean, even I know Tyler Justice did not lead a lap officially, but he was up there as well. It just seemed like every time you turn around, an RER car painted by Shasta Jewell in our comments here was up there at the front. So definitely a good night for you guys. We're going to Dover next week. What do you think about Dover?
Love me some Dover. It's same kind of deal here, right? It's fast-paced, aggressive, save your tires, right? But there's plenty of danger to be had. So get some of those top contenders out of the way for me. Maybe I can come back and do it again next week.
Sounds good, man. Well, we cannot wait to see it, man. It's kind of a redemption night for you after having, I mean, it just seemed like you had all the bad luck at the beginning of the season. This is just a good storyline for us to see, and it makes it really easy to talk about, to be honest. Just makes a good show for us, too. So congrats on tonight. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Hopefully we can get you back up here in the booth in a podium spot or another win. Be our first back-to-back winner in the league.
It'd be a ton of fun if it works out that way for sure. This broke a long-awaited drought. My first win of 2025 in all of iRacing. So it's been a long time to actually put her in victory lane. I was glad to do it.
Yeah, so you got a good fan club out here in the YouTube chat here. So go celebrate, go pop some champagne, whatever you got to do.
We're gonna pop some Rogue energy drinks. Make sure you go to their website, use that RER discount code.
It's so funny you say that because we keep a score up here about how many segues we do successfully during a broadcast. So I gotta put Craig Bontrager down for one. Actually, that was
handed it right to me.
Yeah, that was a fantastic segue. So me and you were tied for the night. Hunter's gonna take the win on that one, but yeah, good run tonight, man. We're happy for you. Good story, man. It's been fun to watch all year. So looking forward to see you next week. Before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs?
Yeah, definitely Rogue Energy for sure. Tasteful supplements give you energy, give you focus. Sunbelt for sponsoring the series. Thank you. I think we're still getting things figured out, but it's a lot of good fast cars here. So
sounds good. Well, congrats again. Go pop that Rogue Energy, and we'll see you next week.
I'm gonna be awake all night. See you guys next week.
See you. And that is going to be Craig Bontrager, your first place winner tonight. Picking it up kind of almost in dominating fashion. I mean, I know he kind of fell out in the very end there, but he was kind of leading laps and putting it down. We put up the deltas a few times, and he's able to pull away and make a gap. Then you have hard charging Ryan Moyer coming up behind him with teammates like Aiden Wilson, Jacob Hutnick. I mean, all three of those guys were fast tonight. Fast. But good on him to be able to hold them off. That whole RER team just had a fantastic night. So super cool to see that. And again, like I keep saying, because it is kind of cool for us to be watching each race and kind of getting invested into the drivers and the storyline that's going on, man. It's just been a fun season to watch so far.
It's been a really good season, man. And, it was a tough night. It was a lot of cautions earlier on. And so I think, like Craig was talking about there, we had a lot of fast cars that weren't able to make it to the end of the race, and it's unfortunate. I would say it's not very typical of the Sunbelt Racing League, but it really did come down to the people that were able to save through the fast repair, the guys who were able to get their damage repair when you're done, things like that. But all the same, great run by Craig Bontrager, able to get his first win here tonight. Just really happy for him, man. And to fight off Ryan Moyer, who's been so great all season long.
Yeah.
Just really, really impressive.
That dude's a dog.
He's a dog.
But going to the end here, I'm going to pull up the race results for the race tonight. Got Craig Bontrager bringing it home tonight for RER. Then you have, just like Ryan Moyer was talking about, second, third, and fourth, all teammates of that Mid-Pack Motorsports. Ryan Moyer, Aiden Wilson, Jacob Hutnick. Coming in fifth, Brandon Trush. Jake Euler had a really strong car tonight too, man. Just falling back just a little bit there at the end. Probably some tires that were kind of falling off, but good run by Jake Euler. Is definitely going to help his point standings. Dylan Canova came at some bad luck as well, finishing 7th place, but he was pretty fast early on, as we saw. Austin Norris, first time here, and now is going to finish 8th place. Actually, the only car for the Trash Panda Motorsports to finish on the lead lap there. So he's kind of helping the team out, coming along first night, doing his share. Jamie Horn's going to be finishing 9th place, needing that caution there at the very end and waiting to take tires. Had a really good chance if a caution did come out. Chris McCullough is going to be 10th. Frank Marchese, 11th place with some internet issues tonight. Garrett Fox in 12th. Jay Vault, 13th. Kenneth McCullough Jr. and both McCulloughs tonight just very fast. I know Kenneth did run into some issues as well with some unfortunate luck. George Jewell, 15th, going to be your Stage 2 winner. Simon Grills, 16th. James Fox, 17th. Tyler Justice, 18th. And moving on back here to 19th place, if it would ever scroll down here for me. Greg McConey also had some internet issues tonight. James Merrill, 20th. Craig Knoll, 21st. And Cody Bullock's going to round it out for 22nd place tonight. But before we head out of here, tell us about our sponsors, Hunter, and what they've done for us in the league.
Yeah, we really appreciate the sponsors for the league. Sunbelt Rentals is the Cup Series sponsor for us for the season, and we really appreciate them for everything that they do, both for us up here in the broadcast booth and for the drivers out on the track. Sunbelt Rentals is a nationwide construction equipment company, and if you have any sort of equipment needs for your projects, whether that's just around the house or whether that's a major commercial or industrial project, Sunbelt Rentals is the place to go. They have always treated me absolutely professionally and with a ton of respect and helped me find exactly what I need to. So if you have any sort of project coming up, be sure you check out Sunbelt Rentals at your local store, and they will make sure that you get the job done. Thank you to Sunbelt Rentals for making sure that we get the job done here in the broadcast and out on the track. And then finally, from us here at KnappDaddyRacing, we appreciate everyone who joined in here with us, everyone who was over here in the stream, commenting, liking, subscribing, whatever the case may be. We really appreciate you. If you yourself are into iRacing, be sure you head on over to KnappDaddyRacing.com for all of your template, logo, or any sort of design needs for your iRacing setup. And even if you're not into iRacing, be sure you get on over here and pick up a t-shirt, pick up a hat. We appreciate the support either way. Thank you all very, very much for being here with us.
Well, I think that was a pretty good race myself.
It was a tough night for sure with all the cautions, but we fought our way through and it was a fun night.
Yeah, it came down to a really good finish. Just kind of been the motto for this league this year. It's just making things exciting and just a good storyline and people, different winners almost every single week. Only one repeat winner so far. So, I mean, it's a very competitive league. anybody can win on any given night. I guess any given Sunday, if you want to make the reference to the movie there. But yeah, it's been exciting so far. Going to Dover next week, going to be a little bit different the way it's driven, kind of a bowl shape, but I'm excited for it. That's going to be right here on KnappDaddyRacing at 8:15 Eastern time. Same place, same time. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Any final thoughts?
Looking forward to Dover. I know that's going to be a lot of people's money track. I know we just heard Craig Bontrager talking about how he really enjoys it. I know for a lot of other people, Dover's not really their favorite track. So I'm sure it's going to be a really exciting night, and looking forward to having everybody back in here with us.
Absolutely. Well, for the final time tonight, I have been John. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
And I have been Hunter. Also, thank you, everyone, for joining with us tonight.
And we will see you guys next week.
Take care, everyone. See you next week.